All right, we are live. We are live. Episode 44, 44. I think that's how you say it in Spanish. I don't know,
You-
but
You're actually the wrong man. I could barely count to four in Spanish.
big bro, Pag, what going on?
Man, I dare, man. I feel good today, man. For some reason, I just feel good.
Yeah, man, you look happy today, man. You look real happy. You smiling, you're cheesing and everything, man.
I am ecstatic.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, man. Hey, so we are episode 44, man. These episodes are just going by so fast, man. I cannot believe we are episode 44. That's crazy,
Man,
you
I'm
know.
telling you, man. And I gonna start off by apologizing to Karen. That's my girl, man. And like she said on the show, like we got sometimes ties of family in there, but her mother and my mother is real good friends. So I know Karen from time. Two of us were jits, as we say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
growing up in the same neighborhood, our family from my father's side coming from the same place. So I know Karen a very long time.
Yeah, man. She was hurt and disappointed.
I know, man. I got to reach out to her. I have to, but I
No, she
was
was good.
really, really not feeling good, my son. I don't know, and I had just come from getting some good old Kentucky Fried Chicken from home, because we got a real recipe, but I think I took too long to eat, and my head just started hurting bad, my son. Every day on St. Croix, I had a headache, a wicked headache. So
That's not
I,
good, man.
I think the change of atmosphere were kind of messing with me.
Yeah, probably that's what it is, man. Probably that's what it was for real. You know, big up, Carrie and Arika. Big up to you guys. Big up all the viewers tuning in. You know, so yeah, man. So you enjoy your trip. You know, how was the trip and everything? How you was able to attend Tegan Jersey retirement. You know, how did you enjoy it? You know, how was that experience like?
Man, I tell you, um, we need to give Tegan sister her props. Honestly,
Yeah,
Carrie Ann, she outdid herself, my son. Because she's the one that put it all together and she got everything going. She did it from scratch. She got in touch with everybody she needed to get in touch with, down to her family members,
yeah,
everybody that who had their foot on the ground that could make things move. She got in touch with them, and it was awesome, man. It was real good. I felt real good for Tegan. It was just real good, man. Like with what we had to work with and how it turned out. Out to the food. The food was so good, listen. I didn't even know we could have taken some to go plate because I would have definitely mashed them up, listen.
Hey, I the same way too, my son. If the food good, again, to go plate for sure. You
Carry
know,
on,
big up
carry on,
Jason, big up Jason.
carry on. Told me after we could have take food to go. Cause her brother he's like the only one that took food to go. But if I had known that, my son, I would have mashed up her to go plate. Cause that food was so good.
Yeah,
You
man.
actually, honestly, when we were watching the video, you was the highlight of the video. I gonna let you know.
Hey, man. Once I can make everybody smile and laugh, that's the goal.
I mean, as soon as you got to the point that I know you're supposed to be talking for 3 minutes, but and then you just start a whole nother subject, I was like, everybody just bust out laughing, my son. That was so funny, my son. But honestly, it was real good, man.
Yeah,
Tegan was surprised. He wasn't all so surprised because he just had in a feeling that something was going on. He just didn't know what. So it still turned out to be a surprise because he didn't know what was going on. He just knew something was going on, but he didn't know
yeah.
what. Anytime, man, carry on. You really deserve it, and whatever, what, just know you got something coming your way, man, because that was real good. And
Yeah, that was definitely good, man. So much love, much big up to Carrie Ann. If I had a soundboard, I would have had a round of applause, but I'll just clap. So much love, appreciate you.
seriously, seriously,
Yeah,
it
much
was
love, Carrie Ann. Much love, much love.
it's that deserving. Yeah, Langy, I
Yeah,
went. I kind of snuck in and snuck out, but I didn't want to talk too much about it because I really disappeared from from
from a lot of different things.
right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah,
I really want to put that too much out there, you know what I'm saying? So I just slip in and slip out, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was good. The weekend was good. Everything was good. Hung out with the fellas, went got a little dip, you know what I'm saying? What much needed dip, me, coffee and tea. I went beach Sunday morning. We just literally just talked the whole time we there in our water, just vibing and as cold as that water was, to me at least. Them man used to it, but to me
Yeah,
that
yeah.
water cold.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. They used to it. It'll be freezing, man, when you come down. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, man, Karen. I feeling much better today, man. I could even do the show for Mumbai if you want to take a night off. That's how I feel.
Hey, that's what I like to hear, Punk. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, man. Big up, Bogus. Big up, Karen. Big up to you. Langolo, big up everybody tuning in. Much love to everybody, to all the viewers. Much love to you guys once again. Supported Andre and his episode. So much love to everybody tuning in. You know, we always appreciate you guys. Always. You know, so
Facts.
yeah, man. So Dwayne, let me know when you Dwayne. I need to check out Dwayne Facebook page. I don't really be on Facebook much, but when I go on Facebook, his statuses when he posts something, I always pop up on his stuff to be lit. It'll be funny, my son. No, he's supposed to get some wedding in the future. Big up Christian. He's supposed to get some, wedding in the future. Some type of, coming to America type wedding, with two wives and stuff like that. So not to get too deep, but Dwayne on another level.
And
So
another vibes, man. Let we take a moment to give rest in peace to Bomani, man. That tragically got murdered this past Sunday. Um, and Bomani is one of the part of the Barracuda family, so we gotta send our condolences to his family and like one of the coolest dude that that as far as any of my experience with Bomani, he's one of the coolest dude you could ever come across, my son. And so big condolences to his family and close friends, man. Rest in peace to Bomani.
yeah, man. Rest in peace to Bomani indeed. Everything he said, he was the coolest dude, man. Coolest dude. You could talk to him anytime. He reasoned with you. He talk to you. So our hearts and goes out to his family, his kids, his close loved ones, all his close friends and stuff like that, man. So definitely rest in peace to Bomani.
And
Much love to the family.
also, he was a part of the basketball family in the VA too, because he was a real good basketball player. You're probably too young to play against Bomani Mumba, but
Yeah,
when I first went in the league, Bomani was one of the point guards you didn't really want to face, in man league. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He, Basie, Bullard, them man was like the real point guard them that you don't want to face. You know what I'm saying? So, like, rest in peace to that man there, brother.
Yeah, definitely, man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these shout outs out of the way. Pang. So shout outs, to all the VI people doing their own business things and stuff like that, man. Much love to everybody. Make sure you guys go on and support, especially in these times. You definitely want to support your own, you want to empower your people, so definitely support each other and all the other VI business owners that are doing their thing that I don't shout out. Much love to you guys. I know there's a lot more people that I don't know. So I just want to give a shout out to them that I don't know, that maybe the viewers might know as well as support them. So so much love to those people. So we got the legends340.com, legends340.com. You guys go check out the website. They always got some nice clothing and garments and stuff like that. They got a woman's line, they got a men's line. So you guys check that out. We got Savory Eats LLC based in Orlando by Sheena Fontaine. She always have food sale. I know for Thanksgiving she has a menu. So if anybody doesn't want to cook and they're in the Orlando outskirts of Orlando area, you guys could hit her up. We got the Good Life Apparel. Big up to Nato. We got Andrea on Instagram. Follow on Instagram at Melting Pot Cooking Class and also meltingpotcookingclass.com. Also, we got Sibone Caribbean Restaurants. Big up to our matron marketer. She's doing a lot of good things with the youths, them, giving them opportunities and motivating them to be business owners. So much love to our matron as well, too. We got Apollo Legion, so big up to Apollo Legion. We also follow on Instagram, Island Destiny 340, Serenity Braids by Nikki. We also got Rico Canario, one of our farmer guests. He's a baseball historian. He's a VI historian. He has a lot of information in the VI. So you guys check out his page. He also has a website. He has some books. It's www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario. We also got Right Way Service Station located in Princess next to Avis. We got Paris Enterprise. Big up to Paris. Paris Enterprise. We also got Livewire Sports. Follow Livewire Sports on Facebook. Livewire Sports. They always live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Um, Yesterday there was a live, so make sure you guys check out their page to see when they're going to be live again. One of our previous guests, Karen, she's going to be on the show as well coming up, and some other people as well too. So you guys check that out. We also got Midnight Entertainment. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok at The Real Midnight. Also follow on Facebook at Real Midnight ENT. Also big up to Chico with Next Level Up Printing. We got OliviaDesir.com. The holidays coming up, so you guys check out that website. We also got Bubbles Promotion. Also follow on Facebook at Brino's Kitchen. We got follow on Facebook, City of Refuge Worship Center. They live stream every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Facebook. So big up to Mona Barnes as well too. Much love to Mona. Also, we got Carlos Hawkins with his business, AIM Credit Repair LLC. So you guys check him out as well too. We also got Dwayne with Calypso Clothing LLC. You guys check out Dwayne Facebook. He got his shirts them look good. His shirts them really look good. They're different. They're attractive. They fire. So make sure you guys check it out. All you viewers that usually be in here consistently interacting with Dwayne, check out his Facebook. Go support Dwayne Calypso Clothing LLC. So you guys check that out. Support. And also our previous episodes from the Elite Podcast that we broadcast is also on YouTube. We are live streaming to YouTube as we speak, but it's v.i.legends. So you guys can always check that out, support, follow the YouTube channel, share it with the kids so they could learn about some VI history as well too. So we are here, Pang. We are here. We had our previous guest, Karen M. Carty. I'll let you lead it off.
Well, it was a great interview. I hear Tegan mention that what I really was impressed with, like Tegan said on the show, that she is a real good speaker. Like she has the voice for it. She articulates herself very well. She had a great journey that she really looking to be like I think she in the perfect job for based on her personality, and you could hear it when she talked. She want to be close to fame but don't want to be in the spotlight of fame. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. But
that makes sense.
She want to be close to it. So what better role to play than being like a producer, like a director, like somebody behind the scenes, but they're the one that pushing the button and making everything happen, and that bringing stuff together, like putting the puzzle together to make a great show,
Yeah.
So it was a real good show, and glad to hear a journey. And when you know somebody personally and still learn things about them, that's always a good thing, and good stuff too, not bad negative stuff, but real good stuff. That's always good to know. It's here.
That's true, Pang. Well said. Like I told Christine and I told Karen, I think they should have a podcast. I would really like to see a podcast or something for that aim towards the Virgin Islands, and it's pretty much a woman base. Like you said, like Tiga said, like I have said too. She has an amazing voice, Karen, both of them. So I think it will be something good, for our people, woman, coming from a woman perspective. Her episode was amazing. I learned a lot from Karen. I know you guys real close, like family. I know Karen since I was like maybe like 7 years old, 6, 5, 8 years old. So, just seeing her around and, hello, hi and stuff like that, and just being around, so to hear her story, and everything that she went through and stuff like that, health wise and psychologically as well too, and how she got into where her journey, as far as being assistant AD and fun engagements, being involved with the athletic department was amazing. Just how we started out, because she was like she didn't know what she wanted to do, so it was kind of funny, but it just shows that her determination, her goals, She's headstrong, so
You,
she has a bright future. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what's next for her, as well as all the previous guests too. But it was a joy to hear her episode and her journey going from Norfolk, Bmore, South Carolina, Banter, Grambling, and now we in Peoria. So, you
you
know,
you know one thing was impressive too. Maybe a lot of you, ain't had a chance to see this, but super proud of her because I can remember when started for even from when she was in college all the way out to college. She literally started filming basketball games and football games. Like she literally was like the camera, the stuff that she used to post at least on Facebook. You could really see that she started from the lower level and just work her way all the way up to where she did now. And that's and when I mean lower level, she literally used to hold the camera for what filming basketball games and walk her way all the way up and
yeah,
good seeing that man. Now to know where she ended up from where she started, that's real good.
yeah. Well said, well said. True that, true that. So big up to Kyra. Appreciate you coming on our platform and sharing your story. It was an honor. You know, so we are. Oh, Dwayne, I go contact the guy tomorrow for the shirts because I off tomorrow, so I go definitely contact the guy tomorrow. So I way behind on a lot of stuff, man. Um, Episode 44, Pang, Andre M. Titus Jr. Current men's volleyball coach for York College out in New York. Um, you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first.
All right, so I never really knew who Andre was. When we started the podcast, I seen Andre commenting and stuff, and as time go on, you get to know the viewers and people engaging in each episode and asking, amazing questions. So come to find out, he was he's from the VI, he was a multi-sport athlete from the Virgin Islands, and finding out he's the men's volleyball coach at York College. So that's pretty much that I know from what we talked about even before the live started. But I just can't wait to hear his episode. You know, this is where I really, really enjoy these moments, not knowing the individual and getting to really hear the story. And he's gonna get a chance to really like educate us and indoctrinate us with a lot of different names, from the VI that he came up with, and coaches as well too. So I just can't wait. I just can't wait. This is gonna really be you know, it's gonna really be a lesson for myself.
I'm like you. He definitely have the face of a VI person. Like me and you, we live in Babylon. Like every time I walk someplace, I just see somebody and he just look like he from the Virgin Islands, or she just look like she from the Virgin Islands. And
Yeah,
sometimes it'll turn out that they are, because they just have the swagger, they have the Virgin Islander look. And like you said, he always, the chime in on an episode here and there with his comments and questions, and even up to current episode, I think I saw him mention that he got a little Anguillan heritage, and you know how much I love my Anguilla Island. So,
yeah, I
you
know
know,
that.
yeah, got that's my second home. So, any type of Anguillan vibes or heritage and come my way, like I always interested to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, just looking forward. I'm like you. I'm green to his story, like green to his story. So
True that.
I'm just looking forward for him to elate us with his journey.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. You have to make some contacts with the people in Anguilla, man. We need to see some viewers from Anguilla in the show. We need to see them. We need to see them. We need to see them, Pang. We have had a lot of people with Anguillan heritage on this show, so
Cheese would be more better with the Angolan story than Miss for me, because Cheese used to live over there. Cheese moved from St. Croix, moved to Rack, to move to Angola, to move back to Rack, to move back to St. Croix. So he got more of the more heritage, the more homegrown in Angola, because he actually used to live over there. So he could tell you the right people them to talk to, and he would just be the person to talk to about that.
well, we need Cheese to make some calls. Make some calls. So But
I just saw somebody flash across the screen. Who the hell is on Facebook with the name Pum Pum Snatcher?
oh,
Who was that?
I don't know, but that's funny. Just think, no, you say what you say. Greetings, all Baptiste. Greetings. So,
Oh my God.
all right, Pang. So you want to do the introduction? You want me to do the introduction?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
You see, viewers, you see what Pang did? Pang was like, man, I feel so good I could even do the show by myself.
You're
No, I
right.
actually need to.
You're right. You're right. I got it. I got it. I got it.
No, uh,
Well,
nah.
so
But yeah.
we know everybody is all excited. Another Wednesday, we're about to bring a proud Virgin Islander to bring our story, his story to us, and to share and help deliver these messages to the youths so we could come bring the youths back up to the promised land. Without any further ado, the person you sitting down to hear, Mr. Andre M. Titus Jr.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, good night.
Good evening.
Oh, St. Thomas, St. John, Tatola, Anguilla, of course. You say Anguilla is part of my mother's heritage. And so I've been watching y'all show for quite a while. I really enjoy it because y'all are touching the world. This is a new generation touching the world about education, about our history in sports. I'm number 44. That's a great number, You know why?
Wait, tell us.
Was number 44. President Obama was number 44.
Oh, that's what's up.
And when I look at number 2, so number 44 represent for me is that you have 4 and 4, right? That's a balance. And in sports, you have a balance from an athletic point, and from an athlete point, and from a coach's point, and the universe point. Yeah, Pum Pum Snatcher, that's one of my former track and field athletes back in Christian Junior High School. And we talk a bit about it, but I have a background from sports when I was.
Wait, sorry to interrupt, Andre. It's kind of, I'm not sure if you hear it. It's kind of breaking up.
It's staticky.
I hear it on here, but me know where I'm coming from. That's better.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know where they're coming from.
You got your charger in your mobile device. Plug it out, and see if that make a difference.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
It ain't grounded good. No, still there.
Still there. I know something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't know what happened. This is.
Yeah.
Let me try something. I'll say it. Is it better? That might be a little better.
Yeah.
It's still popcorning?
Yeah. Still popcorning. It wasn't doing it all yet, though, for some reason. When we was off the live.
Okay, I was off before it was okay.
Yeah.
Kind of now it's okay. It's Pang, when Pang came on, man, that's what it wasn't.
My bad, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We good, man. We'll go ahead with you, So yeah, we good.
A lot of people know where my career started. I come from Parry Ground, that is a big area, welcome area. So if you live in that district, you know you had to play ball. Everybody play ball all day long. We play ball from the morning all the way down to nighttime. The park, let's go out. We still playing baseball, from baseball to softball, from softball to volleyball, from volleyball to basketball. From there, you get an argument to do a foot race. That was the fight. You got to do a foot race. Pretty small, pretty short. So, of course, I had to think tall because I was short.
Yeah.
So, as a sharp person, you got to put in a lot of good work to prove your point. So, my first encounter in sports was with Little League Baseball. I played for a team called the Batter Bugs.
The Batter Bugs?
Batter Bugs. The store was Batter with the second shoes. They were our sponsors, so they called the Batter Bugs. And we played, the league was played Oliver St. Croix. So you had the team from the West, Grove Place, Montbijou, Shabbat, playing with Kennedy as a team. So you had the boys from the West, they were the A's, the guys from Grove Place, they were the Vikings, the guys from Montbijou, they were the Bullets. Even St. Johnston School, that school, St. Johnston School, they had a team called Crucians. And that was a mix of white boys and the brothers from home playing with them. Our team was called the Bugs, like I said, and the Warriors came from Shabbat and Kennedy in Little League Baseball. So at that time, you met the celebrities such as Emma Plaskett, you met Harris Clark. They was all heroes because they had they paved the road for professional baseball. Joe Christopher, a whole heap of them. So as a child who playing baseball, I didn't idolize too much the celebrities on the outside, the football players on the outside. I idolized the ones I had in contact with, like the ones I just mentioned. Duca Brown, Pat Duca Brown, Tafko Martin, Ruger Lang, a whole heap of these guys were my idols. So I just wanted to be like them. So I played first base as a young boy. I was a first baser, along with my partner from the West, Uzi McBain, and then Teeks from Momiju. That's Tony Felix Sr. It was very competitive. So when we were playing baseball, we were always trying to see who's the best first baser in the league in competition from over there. My thing for me, don't throw the ball high to me. Throw the ball short so I could scoop it up. Because that made the play look better with like a first baseman scoop out and ball him up. So that was my thing. Love in school. I had a glove bigger than my size. I had a Saba mitt. I was playing for with a Saba mitt to make up the size, in length and everything else. So that was my thing in Saba, and in baseball, I'm talking in baseball. So I ended up playing in the not 13th, but team came from Puerto Rico to play against us, and they drafted me to play first base against the 2015 bracket when I was 11 years old.
Wow.
So, and I was pretty fast, and I can remember from PR, striking out all players, striking them out. But I always had in my mind, I was a bunter and a runner, so I got 2 for 2 that day. I had 1-2 ball and get on base, so that was the thing for me, bunt and run. If you can't catch me at the baseline, that's your problem. So we move on to the bigger divisions like the 15. Central High School had a team, and once you play club ball, you don't want to play with a high school team because you don't want to be coached by your principal. Because the coach for the high school team, Central High School team, or I think Mr. Blake, some of the principals. So who wanted to be playing under the principal for the school? You want that.
Right.
That's too much.
That's true.
That's too much discipline and behavior and suspension. If you don't play right, you something you want. I try you want cuss, coming from guys, we are all arguing. So that's how we were competitive by arguing a lot of time. So I set out my year from the 2015. I set out because I was training from one team to another team. So you had to set out a season. You couldn't go to a bounce around from team to team. So I just went back to my farm club team with the Reds, and we were coached by Norman Williams, 1P. He came 1P, and that part of the coaching kind of direct me into wanting to play baseball at a serious matter, because he was a coach who was serious about the sports, studied the sports. He cursed you out. When I say curse you, I mean don't be late. You cannot be late to games or practices. So one time, I remember was coming. I live right behind the ballpark. Let me put it right there. I live behind left field, and I'll come into the game late. All right, and I will tell my teammate that I said, let's don't answer him back. Let's just keep our face going straight forward and I could see this man coming out of the dugout and walking towards us, and the fans is looking to see what kind of show gonna happen now. So we just walking, and he starts screaming, "You live behind left field. You live behind second base, and you late every time."
Yeah.
So and I always saying, don't answer him back because too many people stand watching this man perform. So in my mind, I say, if you put me in the game, I'm gonna make it up to him because I just have to give him that respect. He was right. I live behind left field. Come on, I should be the first person in the park.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's how things work. But in my league career, as we was preparing for the All-Star to go to Venezuela, I remember about discipline. I would go to the practices every day, bust my tail, right? But my mother, she would say, rake up the lawn, clean my yard up before you go practice. And I would tell her, man, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And every day I'll do it. And the day before they were planning to leave to go to Venezuela for the League All-Star Central American game. I didn't go to practice. And Harris Clark and Emma Plastic came to the house with the whole team in the back of the truck. And when they got it, said, Miss Titus, he didn't come back today. She said, I know. He said, but he going to Venezuela the next 2 days with us. She said, really? She said, let me ask you a question. When you tell him to bunt the ball and he swing instead of bunting, what are you going to do with him? He said, well, he might back him, he might bench him. She said, well, guess what? I tend to break up my lawn and pick up the leaves for the mango tree. And so what? I'm going to bag him. He's not going to no Venezuela because he might get over there and you intend to bunt the ball. He don't do it. He don't call me. That's what we do with him. No, she bagged me. My mother bagged me from going to the All-Star team in Venezuela. And I really said to myself, that was a long experience because I didn't talk to her for 2 weeks. But then she said, paint the house. We painted the house. She said, do this, I do. So I learned that respect, and understanding you got to do your chores first. And that took me a long way. So as time went on and I started getting better in different things, I coached a softball team that I had prepared these young girls from the East. And I said, Genix, I applaud you so much because you taught me a lot about coaching and how to study the game. And I said, if I could master what he do at the age of 16 and develop a women's team, a girls team, and beat his team, I'm on my road to something. I don't know what it is, but I'm on my road to something. Yeah. So what I did, I used to talk to him a lot, and he said, just practicing hard every day. So what I did, I practiced my women's softball team. It was called the Phillies. The Phillies. I picked some young ladies, Cherry McIntosh, Corinne Derricks, my sister Ernestine Titus, Carol Gerard, Terry Kennedy, I was her sister Diane, and Angie William, Susan Lewis, Atty William. I got all these girls from the neighborhood young girls. And we sat down and said, we're gonna go to the West, and we're gonna beat them girls in the West. So we developed a strategy. I trained them young girls like we was playing how you train, the guys to play. And I'm not saying I'm being sexist or anything, but I would believe that if you train someone the correct way, the proper way, they're gonna come out real good. Because that's what Mr. Williams did for us as baseball players. We trained him and Duke and stuff. They practice us intense and with the right skills. If we do any skill out of whack, we was penalized. Today, as a head coach, I just do not like suicide. I don't believe in suicide. The reason why, I'll tell you, our basketball players and baseball players, a suicide can never make me become a better player. It cannot develop my skills. So, Tang, if you miss a layup, should you run suicide? I'm gonna ask you a question. Would suicide change the game?
No, but it would change my mind that I gonna try not to miss another layup. Me want to run no suicide.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna change your mind that you don't want to run no suicide, but it doesn't change the skill.
Right. You're right.
And that's the key. It's to changing the skill to develop you as a better player. Because if Shaquille O'Neal, I don't know what happened because he couldn't make a free throw. So if you go to basketball, how many suicide he ran in his career? I don't know because it didn't help him. So I believe in if you're playing baseball and you're playing second base and I keep on erroring the ball like us, just give me some more errors. Give me some more attacks. So that's why I didn't believe in suicide, but I believe you can incorporate activities that will have some suicide in it, but still making it fun. So you still getting your suicide in, but not think as a punishment.
Right.
So today I still don't believe in suicide. I'm sorry, and people always say, "Oh, you do suicide." Well, that's your program. This is my program.
Right.
I do repetition, and that's how we learn. So that's what tends to happen.
Go
ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. So roughly what years that was with the baseball and Harris Clark and Emma Plaskett coming to get you?
We're going back into the early 70s, 71, 70s, 71, 72 bracket.
Yeah.
This back then, and At that time, we really had local professional athletes that we idolize. And I think if we have a lot more of those in the BI right now, we're gonna have a good, good viewing. Kids who come to watch a baseball game and they see you pitching, I want to be like him because he's from St. Croix. I want to be like Pam because he's from St. Croix. And then now that he can talk to me after the game is over. When I watch the
Right.
baseball TV, they can't talk to me and tell me and influence me. They can't pat me on the shoulder and tell me, you screw up in that position, but that's okay. It happens to everybody.
Yeah,
And
that's
then I
true.
get better. So that's the part of you have to communicate, how we gonna communicate in the process of making it work. I move on to a track and field career. When I said when I went up to college, I went to Cheney State University after high school, after playing baseball in high school. And they didn't have a baseball team, so they asked me, I had some roommates there that to ask me to run track. And I'm like, no, man, you run no track. I mean, that ain't for me. But I used to run races at home for money. I was a money runner. And I always tell them, you go to the
Be,
track and field team fast.
before you move on with your story, have you ever run down a deer and catch it?
Maybe a horse, a mongoose.
I just had to get a question in because we got deer catcher in St. Croix from Wim.
Maybe chasing mongoose and start catching them and putting them in cage and then catching them on fire. That kind of stuff, them things that bad boys would do at the time. But yeah. But yeah. Well, what is it about track and field is that the police officers always tell me, why don't you run track? Because every time you get into things, we can't catch you. And I like, what do you mean? So every time we chase you and we come to grab you, you look around, like beep beep, you gone. So they give up. So Mr. Lang was a police officer in St. Croix, said he lived by our house, said, you should join the track and field team in your school. You should meet with Cipriani Phillips. I know y'all heard that name before. He was from Central High School.
That was my gym teacher at one point.
Hey, Jim. And we're going to stop saying gym teacher, you're a PE teacher, not a gym teacher. And you should know that too. You're a PE major. You study physical education.
Right.
Right?
Right, I did.
So we don't even call gym teachers. We are PE teachers.
PE teachers, you're right.
Physical education teachers, because we study the science of kinesiology and exercise physiology and all that stuff that was mentioned that you're good at cardiovascular fitness. And that takes a lot in terms of physical fitness and sports. So I didn't want to run track in high school because he was intense. And I don't think I was ready for the intensity. My sister told me, she said, you want to run track for Cipriani, you got to have a stronger mind than you have in baseball because he's in your face. And he meant well. And I realized that he meant well when I went off to college. Like I said, I went to Cheney State University. The whole heap of Crucians from St. Croix went there too. We were the first Black college is Cheney State University. If y'all want to know the history of the HBCU schools, a teacher's college in Pennsylvania. That's where I first saw my first Ku Klux Klan live Ku Klux Klan on campus, Burning Cross.
Wow.
That's what we saw. So, and
what was going through your mind when you saw that?
Is that scary feeling to really know that what you see on TV come to life, and that you could be, it could be you, that it gonna hurt, and that's part of the mission, to scare us as Black young men and women on our campus like that, who was out in the woods with no surrounding sources. Our next town over, like about a mile or so away. So my journey to Cheney State University was very interesting because I left St. Croix. I told my father into college, I'm not going to be a pilot. I'm not going to be a boat navigator like him. I'm not going to be building houses. I knew that I wanted to be health and education and physical education. I wanted to be in that process when I was young, because my PE teachers would always tell me, you got the skills to be a physical education teacher, and you got the skills to be a person in athletics. So I really went on to that process. So going into Cheney State University, I remember I got to Florida first. I cried from St. Croix all the way to Miami. I cried in the plane because I knew this was the first time I knew that I was not going to come back home after a tournament. This time I'm really going away to go away.
Right.
So I got to Miami, I spent a day with my cousin from Miami. Then I went to New York, spent some time with my aunt and uncle, and then they took me to Penn Station. And I was supposed to meet a young lady from St. Croix. Annette, you're watching, you were supposed to meet me at the train station. You never showed up in Pennsylvania. So when I got there, I said, what the hell am I going to do? So eventually I hopped on the train, and I asked the guy
Oh,
on the train, where is Cheney? He said, when all the black ones get off.
Wow. It's crazy.
That's what he told me. And when the train arrived to, where all the black men get off spot, at Cheney, it was like an old bus stop, no, an old train station, like a post office in the woods. And when we came out of the train, it was me, this guy from Jersey, went from downtown Philly. It was three of us, and it was dark, and we're like, "Where the hell are we getting to? We want to go back home, man." But somehow a guy drew up in the car, and we like pulled back. I'm like, he said, "Y'all going to Cheney State University?" We're like, "Y'all going there? What?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Come on." And he took us on campus. So it was fun to go to a
Crazy.
school like that and meet my people from St. Croix and made me feel more comfortable in the process. And Carrington, Dana Johnson, Louis Johnson, um, Janet Brow, DJ Peterson. I think DJ Peterson might be some of your teachers I'm calling right now. It's all part of the Trinity clan. And so I remember I had $1,500 in my pocket, cash. When I went to pay tuition, they quickly tell me, we don't take cash. We got to take a money order or a check. I said, I don't got that. You're going to take my cash. She's like, well, I don't know. So I had to leave Cheney and go to another town to get this money cash out to a money order. So that was part of the journey. But the
Jeez.
thing about when I got there, it was good to see all the different fraternities and stuff. The brotherhoods and stuff, the sisterhoods and stuff, and of course the people from home party and enjoying. Anytime you're home from the VI, it's time to eat some good food. So we taking care of each other. I kind of heard you say last time that you love to eat and you were killing food when you was over that place with your partner and stuff. So again, as VI athletes, I'm sorry, as VI students, we tend to look out for each other when we get there. I mean, I talked to you in St. Croix. You might have been on a wild power with me when we was there, but when we get to the campus, now we are buddy, and that was part of growing. That was part of learning how to unite as a person, as one, and being with the same people that you grew up with.
right.
So, what was happening at home was just happening at home. Keep in mind, when I went to Central High School, it was only I like you, Mommy. I went to Central High and I went to St. Joe's, and I got two schools at the same time. So I met people from the West at the same time, and so it was good to know East West rivalry was kind of like melting down when I was leaving school, because now we became more unified to the sports of baseball and everything else. And that was tend to happen. So I loved that process. And Cheney was good in terms of fun. So when I got to Cheney, this guy in the track and field team, the football player Rufus, big guy, 6'9". He came to my door and knocked on my door. Boom, 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 boom. I like, the hell is this? Open the door, see this big looking guy. Like, wow, what you want? He said, I heard you pretty fast. I said, pretty
That's
fast.
funny.
I said, who tell you that? He said, the girls from the islands told me that. I said, they're lying to you. I said, the girls from the island didn't tell you this though. The girls from the island didn't tell you that this pretty fast guy here is a money runner. He said, what's that? I said, what's that? For every race I compete in the time trials, because you want me to bump somebody off the team, you can spot me $100. If I lose, you get back 50. He's like, what? I said, so go back where you came from and tell your people them $100 per race.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, a college student gotta make money now. Come on now.
Right, right,
Hey,
right,
that's
right.
I'm
true.
in the woods, so
That's true.
we got. So he said, come to the race, come to the time trials, and that particular day, and you're going to see this guy named Joe. He's a cocky dude from Jersey. Whatever heat he gain, you get in that race, you get in that same heat, the lane next to him, and you better do what you gotta do, Andre. And I'm like, yeah, I'm dude. Your ass is 6'9", a big ass football player, telling me this shit. Come on now, so I gotta do what I gotta do. So I went, I won 100, I got my 100. I wanted two, got my two. and you have me run the 400. I never run a 400 in my life. Okay? When the gun went off, I do go to the 200 meter. And after that day, I don't know where the hell I was. I passed out. I,
Ah,
I vomit. I threw up. I knew that I had a mark on that campus, okay, and that facility, that I knew that was my spot. But what happened at the end of the, like a couple of days after they found out that this was the deal, and the young guys started to argue at one day at practice. I wasn't a team yet, but those just were hanging around. They were arguing and bickering and fighting. So somehow Joe found out that came in to bump him out for the teams. And because of his intensity and wanted to fight me, I say, "Oh, so you really want to run track now? I want to run track now." And that's when I put my foot down in the track and put on my shoes and start going to practice and start going to training. And I made the team. I made a 4x1 relay. At the Penn relays, I made a 4x2. I made a 4x4.
oh wow.
I ran 4 races in one day at the Penn relays for 4 consecutive years. And the Penn relay is a big race. You know, it's 54,000 people watching you in the month of April, coming from all over the world. And what was for me, when I step on the track, I step in the track with intensity of Virgin Islands status, VI in the house. I representing the people from the Virgin Islands. And what I feel good for me is that when I got into the pit at the track and field meet at the Penn relays, I remember Cipriani calling his students from Central High and said, "That boy right there, he went to your high school." And that made me feel so good that to represent a place and then have the high school students to see me perform and to hear them saying, "How fast are you going to go today?" And I go, "I don't know." And so I was able to come home every summer and give back. And that's what my part of giving back to the track and field wall. And so so as I went to Cheney and I left Cheney because my mom had got paralyzed and got a stroke and got paralyzed and stuff, I moved on to New York because my family in New York said, "Come to New York. It's cheaper to go to school in New York." My cousin went to school in New York and they all went to York College. So I went on to New York and I was playing baseball at York College. But what happened is that the baseball team wasn't traveling as much as the track and field team. And everybody wanted to trip someplace.
Right.
So I left the baseball team and I went to the track and field team. And then that became more of my sports was track in college, traveling from Texas to New York, upstate, Jersey, every place else. And I had some fun time in track because I remember one day I was in New Jersey competing at NJCU, and my friend Chuck Knight, Garrett Knight, Ruby Lang, a whole heap of homies came out to see the race. And I was coached by the world-known Bob Beeman. He's a world record holder in long jump for many years. He still holds the record in that distance, 29 feet, 2.5 inches. Intensified person, very good. What happened at that meet in Jersey, they put me in a race with my captain of my team, who was specialized in the 400 meters. And I was basically the one, the 2 in the long jump and the relays. And I was in lane number 8. Carl was in lane 1, I can remember. I took the pace out so fast. And I could hear him say, "Come on, Carl, come on, Carl." But Carl was nowhere in sight to come. He couldn't, the pace was so fast. But 2 guys went by me on the inside, shoot, and I could hear my boy Garrett and them boys said, "You better run your MF. Run your MF." You know? So I pick up some speed and I finished off with a good time. Coach Bob came towards me. And I thought you were going to come to good race, Andre. He said, "What did them boys do over there? Were they harassing you over there? What did they say to you?" I said, "I can't tell you what he said to me. No, I cannot tell you." He like, "No, what did they say?" I said, "I'm son, I'll tell you right now, but," he said, "Run your MS." He said, "So the top 10, that's what he said?" He said, "But from now on, you better run your MS." And he said, "Don't ever let Carl beat you in practice because your ass is grass." So what was my greatest victory in track and field? Well, my great victory in track and field is when actually, and I set the school record at Pratt Institute in 1983 and ran a time of 6.29 at the 60 yards, 55 meters, right after competing in the 400 meter trials. But I give that kudos to Cyprian Phillips. And the reason why I'm gonna say I give it to him because when I ran at City College that year, I ran a 6.4 in a race. December it was December 4th. I came home the 5th, and he said to me, "See you tomorrow morning in Central High School gym." And every morning he'll pick me up at 6 o'clock. I could go village every night, but I'm be in his car the next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. And and I threw up, I vomit. He put me on weights in Central High Gym, had me running these long distance. And I like got mad one day. I said, look, this ain't doing it for me. I said, I'm only gonna run from here to there, the length of the basketball court. So why the hell am I running up these 1,000 meters and these 800 and these 500 and stairs and all that stuff? He said, well, call me when you finish your season. You know that day when I ran that time after the 400 meters, I ran 6.21. Oh, like, wow, the second fastest time in the city of New York schools that still holds today.
Wow.
And my Jamaican partner beat me, but he was fresh. Yeah. So it was interesting to run track in school. So that was one of my biggest great rewards. And so as I finished school, as I finished my career, because I wanted to be out of school for 4 years, and I think I was telling Mambi earlier, you could tell when somebody puts an influence with you. When a coach have influence, is just a it. Today, me and my coach is still friends today. So that means that he was very influential to me. He wasn't popular, influential to me. So he was a very influential person, not just a popular person. Because when I first met Bob Beeman, he said, "Do you know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, you Bob Beeman." He said, "Why are you not surprised who I am?" I said, "Because the VI we don't like really we don't really carry on like, oh my God, celebrity, let me get your autograph. You know, you're just a natural human being to us, and we've been around a lot of professional athletes as well." He said, "I love you, man, because you're the first one to tell me that I'm a human being." So, so that was good with him. I love that man. So after graduation, coming out to St. Croix, coming back home to teach, I say, you know what? I want to run experiments. I want to apply my college training to a junior high school team and see how it's going to work out. And so what I did at Elena Christian Junior High School, I took my college training. I'm talking about, when we talk about college training, we talking one day I practiced on Monday, we running 12 quarter miles, 12 400 meters at a 52 point, 50 point pace up until the process. So what I did with the kids at junior school first, I sat them down and I tell me exactly what you want to do in the next couple of years from now. And they had to write it down. Then I said, how much money your parents have? They tell me, we know how much my parents got. I said, you don't know, right? I said, well, this is gonna happen. You could go to school for free if you use your legs. And you're gonna save your parents a lot of money and you're gonna make them happy. And they were like, really? I said, yeah. And that was the mission for me to help them students realize that they are gonna do like the Jamaican athletes. Because the Jamaican athletes and the African athletes who comes to America to compete, they come with scholarships. So why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we do the same thing with our students? Because we already are American students. And so we could definitely get a lot of stuff. So we put it in perspective. So we will practice every day. When I said practice, it wasn't about running. We learned it. I taught them the technique of track and field. I taught them the love of track and field. So, and I also taught them physical fitness. And I also taught them about kinesiology, how this muscle work when you're doing this, how this is going to work when you do so and so, how to breathe as you compete, and how to think, I'm not tired. So that was part of what we taught them for years. A lot of people say, oh, you get them in the gym. You get them in the gymnasium, and they're not in the track. I said, don't worry about it, because we had a strict technique practices, just techniques, form, how to breathe, how to finish a race, how to start a race. And they have to sit down and tell me, if I'm running this race and you're in this particular race, imagine how it is for them. And they had to tell me the story to run that track. So that's what I implemented with them. So by the time, and also for time management, it was this: meet me at Lagoon by 7:56.
And where you starting from, Elena?
Yeah, Elena.
Wow.
Jeez.
Maybe by so and so by this time. Maybe at this particular occasion. I never said by 8 o'clock. Never said by 7 o'clock. Never said by 6 o'clock. Meet me by this position, by this for practice today at an odd number. 7:57. And they're like, I just want to help them to learn about time management, being on time.
Right.
Because if they're not on time, that helps you at 100 meters, right? Pump pump snatcher. And Pum Pum Snatcher never beat me as a coach. He always wanted to beat the coach in track and field. He never beat me. So after this day, he's good scar.
Yeah,
So,
that name, listen.
With a name like that, he
So-
better be able to run fast. And amount of man running it down, he better be able to run fast.
and I would tease him because what I would do with him, I would beat him at the line purposely because, the techniques. So I used to tell him all the time, speed and techniques will get you far. Speed alone now will get you there. Because if two men have the same amount of speed, his techniques he's gonna outdo you. So that man will come on the beach and we do sprint work on the beach. We do hills pass up East End. We do a lot of hill work. If you have me coming up, I won't run them at all. I'll just keep them on the system because in their mind, I want it to be hungry to run. So if I run them every day, they won't be hungry to run. So
Right.
I had to get them to become hungry to run. So they were like,
That's
Coach,
true.
when are we gonna run? When are we gonna run? I said, you're gonna run the day of the race. That's the day you're gonna run. He said, we're not gonna bust off. I said, you're gonna bust off the day of the race. So all that stuff, So we get to the whole process of preparation. So I took that formula with the Titus team, and I remember my mother used to say, "Hey, how was practice today?" I said, "Oh, good." She said, "You vomit?" I said, "Vomit?" She said, "You didn't see this other side of the mountain. There's something on the other side of the mountain that you need to get to." And I realized that when I was training and I started to throw up, is that I was getting in shape.
Right.
I started to see the other side of the mountain. And so I started building more curiosity. What's out there? So as an athlete, whenever I get in the race, I always felt that if you have 8 finalists in the finals, you are just as good as any man on the line. Because anything can happen.
That's true.
So you made that far. You went past the quarterfinals. First of all, you went past the first rounds. You went past the quarterfinals. You went past the semifinals, and now you're here in the finals. So that means that you actually did your part. So I try to make them become hungry for the event, and that was part of it. And so now here comes the big day. The big day came up, and I know most of them guys might be watching right now. I see the name popping up. We got to Central High School, and the Central High School kids talk a lot, but they never saw us train. They said, "Oh, y'all just working out in a gym. How much working y'all do?" But we were secretly working on the beach. We were secretly working up in the hill past Thai village. We were secretly working in different places, and the athletes themselves competed against themselves to learn their own body to when they could turn an engine on or turn it back off. You see?
Right.
So by the time we get to the Central High School Classic, A had no team touching us. High school level, we demolished them. The 100, the 2, the 4, the 400 meter. The number 1 guy, a guy called Izori, he broke down. He cried his ass off when we destroyed Central High. They had a perfect uniform. Everybody had to wear the uniform they were supposed to wear. That's when I introduced to them the tights, running tights, track, tank top. We were like, I ain't wearing that, coach. But that's okay. You don't wear it. I have an alternate runner. You come to practice today. You don't come to practice today, but you come to practice tomorrow. Guess what happens? Double time work for you. You come to practice, tell me, coach, I forgot my shoes. I said, Zola Butt from Africa. She ran without shoes. So whatever excuse they gave me that day, it didn't work. because they made it up the day after.
Right.
And how I proved to that, it was I didn't believe in the best runner or the best athlete. I don't believe in that. I mean, there are some people who have shine, right? But I cannot afford that you are the best athlete on my team. You are the best one because you're slacking. So I want everybody to be on the same page. So that's what part of what I did with the guys and the women's. I had on the female team, I had Karen Samuels. That was my prime basketball, volleyball, and track. That's what's the name aunt. Yeah, I know that. That's Coach Dowling's aunt.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Karen Samuel Claxton. Prime
Okay.
runner. Intensify. I had a 12-year-old girl running 100 meters in 13 points at the age of 12 years old. And that's pretty
Jeez.
fast. Okay, so these young girls was running good time because I trained them the same way we train the boys. Was no difference. I didn't believe too much in if a student wasn't doing well in school, you know how they say if they're not doing well in school, you just like cut them off the team. I didn't believe in that either. I believe if a student not doing well in school, my job and my assistant coach's job and the teammates' job is to help them become better in school. So what they had to do, they had to come to practice, and I made their practice a study hall. So we could change the whole mindset. And that was part of it as well. So so there's a lot of things that went into developing a student athlete. And I wish Pang was here, was listening, because I know he got some great ideas. Y'all Pang and keep Tegan as well. Is to develop the student athletes from the time they're young as though they're professionals and treat them like professionals. And don't parents cannot be in your practice with you.
Right.
That's true.
I'm sorry. Between a practice hour, you are the parent. You're not
That's
gonna kill
true.
them. You're send them back home. But the parents need to support your journey, what you want for them. And that's very important, very key. So it was a journey. Volleyball now, I could talk a little bit about volleyball. Volleyball, I played at the age of, I started early, and I played in the open men division when I was like about 11 years old.
11 years old in the
11 years
open
old,
men.
in the open man division volleyball, yeah, the one of the best defensive player. You go on with nonsense.
That's impressive.
But what I learned from them big man though,
Yeah.
they like to knock little people out, They why I think you want to be a man in the court or knock you out.
Yeah.
This man this guy named Byron from Goa Place, Byron Williams. He hit me in my forehead in the one position, that means right behind the solving position. He hit me in my forehead, and I know I could feel the big man hugging me. And he said, "Oh God, I think I killed a little boy." He said, I hit you in your head. You know why? I said, what? He said, because you are waving to your friends on the sideline. Don't take your eye off of the ball. And from that day on, I never took my eye off of the volleyball in games because he knocked it. The ball hit my head, right? It hit the roof, In the Christian gym, So I could tell how hard he hit me. It hit the roof of the roof of the gym. So in volleyball, Miss Hobson, Rutland Hobson, some of y'all know who she is.
Yeah.
She was one of our coaches. She was one of our coaches back then for the youth team, for the youth games. Lenny Larson, he was a great player when it comes to volleyball. You had Kai Shang was my teammate. Kai Shang.
Okay.
Kai Shang, Mel Shang, she's very good at volleyball. She's gonna be a damn good coach. She played good volleyball in college, and she's working hard with the youths today. Helena works hard. Alfina works hard. Shamal Jr. just get his certification in part of coaching just the other day. Ryan Rollins, he played for me in college. He was one of my recruits through Genix. Yeah, through Genix, he became one of my athletes. So I matter of fact, I ref your game, your finals when you was in high school. Remember? I ref your game. I was the referee up top in the final game. That was me. Yeah, who I read that match. So
Remember
Ryan
you
came
play volleyball too?
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played volleyball too.
yeah.
He played with
What?
Santo. Yeah,
Complex.
complex. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was you guys against Central in
Yep.
that final
Yeah.
match.
Final
Yeah,
match. Yep.
it was a great match. Now I
Yeah.
had the honor. I had the honor of being the referee. Miss Hobson asked me to be the referee for that match. So there'd be no biases going on. I didn't have no favoritism because even though I went to Central High School, but the Carriers was dominant. They had
That's
some good players.
crazy. I didn't even know you was refereeing.
Yeah, I
Wow.
rep that match. Yeah,
That's
and so
crazy.
and what I like about that volleyball to see the amount of boys that were playing volleyball in this era was very, very good to see that was happening. And I like that. I said, wow, to see. Of course, we're from the Caribbean, so of course we are black individuals, or you call African American, or do you want to call Caribbean blacks, or whatever you want to call us.
Yeah.
But to see that level of boys play, because here in New York, when I look at the high schools in New York, they're not trained as well as how we are trained, but they have a lot of facilities to train the athletes here in the high school. But one of the biggest problems in the high school system here, and they might hate me for always saying this, I always say anyhow, is that the public school system here is coached by anybody who works in the public school system. So you could be the maintenance worker, don't know a damn thing about volleyball or basketball or
Mm.
track, but because you work in a public school system, you could work as a coach
Hmm.
and get a stipend. So the kids don't get that skill set compared to the ones in St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. You are trained by a, a volleyball player,
Yeah.
a true volleyball player. So growing up as a volleyball player, when I started playing like for the youth team and stuff like that, we was to get to practice in the morning for 6 o'clock in the morning. And we had to do that long run. That long run about we would run from Elena Christian Junior High School out through Princess, come around from Princess, come up the hill past McDonald and come back into Elena Christian to start practice. And
Wow.
some of us guys were the jokers. Me, Wayne Biggs, um, Pancho, Rafael Gonzalez, and stuff. And we would stop off at McDonald's, eat, and continue to run
That's crazy.
and come into the gym. And
Wow.
Miss Hobson would be like, "Where y'all been? Yeah, I got cramp. We got cramp at McDonald's." And then go load up. But in that process, learning the game from them was very interested to learn the volleyball game. We played, and then so we didn't go to Mexico City because something happened financially, but we had trained so hard to go to the youth games, and so what happened? We just kept our team as a team called the Future Force, and the Future Force were a dominant young boys volleyball team that went into the man league and did some damage because it goes back again, your skill set, your skill set, your skill set. And so that's what
what
happened.
I what you saying about training? I could believe that. I remember growing up as a young boy and not really knowing much about volleyball. The only time I watch a volleyball is when the girls them playing. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I kind of see the girls them play. But I remember like once I get to Central and being on the basketball team, we used to practice and so we used to practice till it get dark. And then when it getting dark, um, the volleyball people have practice after week the school practice, like the man league that you said.
yeah,
And watching some of these dudes like hit the ball, like I coming from only ever watching females play. Watching Mr. Chang, you might have even been in the gym, or who knows, you know what I'm saying? But Mr. Chang, he seemed like he was the best out of all the guys then. But watching them at practice and how, like you said, how hard them man hit the ball, Mr. Like it was on a different level than watching the girls them play. So I could imagine that how intense I used to practice because I saw it from my own
yeah,
eyes with my own eyes.
yeah. Salimo asked a question. What do you think about the level of competitive level of volleyball in the Caribbean base today? Volleyball in the Caribbean is today, before COVID. I found that it's very intense, and when you come to the American schools, to come to America to play volleyball, you stands out. You stand out as you be a starter. You can get right on the front line. But at times you might be so good, but you may be faced with the racism, and that's why I try to tell people, you might be that good, but you may get a coach who have a dude on the bench because his family is in the stands and he's someone else. They might put him in the game constantly. So that sometimes our guys return back home because they might be faced with that racism issue that goes on with coaches as well. Yes, that I see you. Yep. So that tends to happen, and so when our team went to the Final 12 back then here in New York, upstate, we went upstate someplace to play. I told my guys, be careful with the white people and the girls up there because coach, you always talking about this racist stuff and this da. But when they got up there and they said they was walking on the block, what the white girls then did?
Flocked to them. Oh, gone to the other side of the road.
Oh, wow, yeah.
After I said, so I tell them, boy, I said, oh, okay. So tell me what was that all about? I said, I got to know the history of Emmett Hill and people stuff. I took my team to a Black Wax Museum. Whenever we traveled to a different town or city, I would take them to historical sites. And the day before the game or after the game, we went to the Black Wax Museum inside of Baltimore. I had a guy start crying because when he see Marcus Garvey, and he was from Jamaica, he said, Coach. I said, what? He said, Coach, you look like my grandfather, you know. I said, he just might be your grandfather. I said, he just might be your grandfather, but a powerful one. He split the image. And I had an Indian guy on my team. He was like, I never knew the history of why people were treated the way they were treated because he was from India. So there's a lot of history learning. And let me tell you, man, we went to prayer school at night. I don't know, that put some more fire in their tail or that anger in their tail. Them boys play the hardest and the best matches. You just want to knock out everybody. And in volleyball, I'm telling you right now, we never play volleyball. Well, you could tell me, volleyball is an intense sports, is a quick sports, is a sport that you gotta be on P's and Q's and you gotta be in shape. Unlike basketball, I could inbound the ball. I could dribble, put it through my legs, you got 20-something seconds to get on court. You could check left, check right. Power volleyball is bump, set, spike, kill. And it's the only sport that it's legal to almost kill a man. Because when a man knocked in the face, I remember one year in Canada, I was playing up in Canada, my teammate got bashed in the face. The man just reconstruct his whole face.
Jeez.
Blood went left and right. So was it when the authority said, I'm sorry? That man killing you. It's called kill. It's called attack. So here there's a lot of violent words in volleyball. Attack, kill, big, block, and it's legal to do it.
Man.
So I would recruit basketball players to play volleyball. You know why?
The height.
Basketball players, they learn the plays fast because they used to play. They used to, cut them brain, making them plays, learn how to read the plays and stuff. So my first year at York with the men's team in 2000, I went to the basketball question, I need some players, man. He said, all right, get your own players. I said,
Zoro.
what? How you talk about? Yeah.
Talk about my sport. Zoro.
So
up, Zoro, big up.
I need some players. And he said, you can't get my basketball player. I said, man, come on, man. I just need 2 to 3 players, right? So he said, oh, come on. I said, what if I decide to make a 3-point shot for a player? Would you give it? He said, come on, Titus, you can't do that. Not knowing I could shoot my ass off at the time. I said, okay. I want Marvin. Marvin was 6'7". I said, I want Marvin to feed me the ball at any spot past the 3-point arc. And if I hit the shot, I want Marvin to be my player. The basketball team was like laughing. Oh, come on, Coach Titus, you can't do this stuff. Feed me. First one, stringers. Marvin put his head
Stringers.
down. He said, okay, no, I got to play volleyball. This is for real, coach. I said, it was a deal. You and the volleyball team. Starting. I said, next, another one in Q. Q said, I want Q. Q has some big ass hands. So I want them big hands, right? Q feed me the ball because at first it was a fluke and they were laughing after Marvin. Q, volleyball player, my middle front player, you're gonna be that part of the team. And the basketball coach started getting like, no, this can't be for Rick. You do it again. I said, no, in a seconds. I said, who else you want? I said, well, I want that one over there. They said, they all run on the gym. They all the basketball. I get stuck with Marvin and Q. Marvin and Q end up being in the NCAA 3 division category. Q end up being the top 3 blockers in the nation.
Wow.
What?
Marvin hit the top 5 killers in the nation. They had to bring the NCAA came in to see us play against a school from the Brown Lehman College because they didn't believe the stats was correct. And they came to take their own stats.
That's impressive.
How they did that? They had to go back and watch videos?
They had to go back and watch videos. And what we did, what I did with my guys who was a volleyball player, I said, everything you're going to attack the ball into the blocker's hands so they could get a hype. So when they blocked them, when they were blocking the volleyball player, they were getting a lot of hype. Mm-hmm. So they started to feel good to them and they started to love it. So that's what happened. That's how I got those guys. But every year, I would, some basketball players would come to me and I would convert them into volleyball players because they make some good volleyball players. Let's be for real. And sometimes the coach from the basketball team would come to me and say, Coach, I want that one to play on my basketball team for rebounds. Because the jumping ability for volleyball players is, they could jump basketball players.
Right.
Yeah.
They just had that vertical ups. And what volleyball did for a basketball player was this. It helped you to be able to stop at a point and go straight up. So I could, as a volleyball player, could stop in front of a wall and could elevate up straight.
Yeah.
Unlike some basketball player would just hit the point and they'll lean forward, so they'll crash. So it kind of helped them with rebounding process as well. So again, it's good to cross-sport your athletes, and that's what the VI does. The VI cross-sport the athletes. He said that year York and Mega was all international players and Wingster basketball players. That's another coach out of New York. He played for Mega Evans College. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a good segue to my question. Like,
yes.
How did you get that coaching job? Like, how the opportunity was presented to you to get that coaching job at your college? Good
question. Being an alumni of your college, I had got a call from the AD, and she said to me, "Are you still into volleyball?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I just came off of coaching the correction department police Olympic team, who actually won the bronze medal at the police Olympics in 1997." She said, "I need a coach right now." And so I said, I'll meet with you. So I went to her and I met with her. She was also one of my professors in school back then. And I said, well, your woman team ain't looking too good, She said, I don't care what you do with them, just make them into something for me. But she already had hired me for the men's, but she brought me out for the women for that one match. And I said to her, ain't much you could do in one day. But all we did was solve and just turn her slid above the net and whatever happens. But the next year, I continued to build a women's team. And I keep on building a women's team that we went to, we ended up playing in a match, well, not even a match, in the playoffs against the number 1 seeded team. And that year, I knew that my women's team was going to beat the number 1 seeded team. And how did I do that? Because in the regular season, that number 1 team beat me 30-28, 31-29, 30-27.
Wow.
So I knew that. I told the coach, I want to play your team in the playoff, first round, second round. They all laugh. So what we did, we practiced. From that point on, we practiced as though we played that same school. And we studied to the players. So I had them study the players. The ball goes to this young girl. She want to hit the ball one way. So I put my defensive player that way. And in that match, I used 4 freshman women to play the match. I used 2 bench warmers who didn't play all season long to play in the final matches. because now they were ready. And I was usually saying to the young ladies to come to the guys team to talk about what it is to be a off the bench player. What is to sit on a
Yeah.
team and don't play at all? What do you do when you sit on the bench for the whole season? File your nails, bite your nails, or what? Chase the ball? No. You're gonna study the game. And so it happened at that time. We bumped off onto college. And let me tell you, you want to see girls with attitude? You want to see girls knocking over water cooler at a playoff match. They didn't want to shake our hand, and they balling. That was a piece of work. They said the Cardinals beat the Hawks on 100 and on 68th Street. They left blood in Harlem and Manhattan that day. Yeah, but with the men's now, like I said, I got the men's. I pulled guys from basketball. I pulled guys from yes, I studied the game. I learned the game. That's right. Um, I pull guys from basketball. I pull guys from soccer because today volleyball anything goes. You know, you just pat the ball up in the air. You know, in like back in the days, you had to have perfect skills how to really set the ball, how to pass the ball. Today, it's everything goes. Ball hitting your forehead is a dig. Yeah, as long as you keep it off the ground, it's good. You kick the ball, you can elbow the ball, you can do all that stuff with the ball. So it made that transition smooth for us. And we went on to make it to the playoffs under my coaching several times, over 10 times or more. We've been in the quarterfinals multiple times. We've been to the final four. I can't actually keep count now, but I know we've been in the final three times. Um, we upset the number one team again, who was on Big Ten number one. We knocked them out. Coming out of their third seat, we beat them. So it was a lot. I also tell the guys we got to like watch videos, not just videos to watch a video and say, "Oh God, look what I did! I make a kill," or "What's a great block I had." No, don't watch for that. Watch for what opposing team weaknesses. Watch for the things that you also need some work on. So we studied that process, and so we did some good work. We went to the ECACs, which only took four teams to the ECAC championship. So four teams went on to that bracket as well. And so it was a pretty good journey. But now when I could talk about a psychological component of the game that I like to talk about, and you could stop me and ask me questions you all guys want to, because so I believe that in practice, I don't like, I mean, I like fun. You can have fun and stuff, but don't laugh at a player who make a BS error. Don't laugh at that person. The reason why? Because it's, to me, it feel like you feed it into him to do the same error again.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's
Yeah.
cool. Can I just make that
That's
funny
true.
error? No. So I just want to break that cycle. I also wanted to break the cycle about and y'all should know it says coaches. Well, coach, I get the ball over the net. Yeah, you got the ball over the net, but you got the ball over the net the wrong way. You got the ball over the net in a couple ways. Ways that you can mess with the shoulders. It was a fluke. It just happened to go over. I prefer to hit the ball maybe out or in the net with the correct form. With the correct form. Same thing in
Mm-hmm.
basketball. You just can't, in basketball, it's 5 in the court. You got a system. So it's not a one man show. If you want to be a one man show, coach is a track runner, get in the track. Yeah, so a part of that is when I talk about being on time, because I know me when I was running late for game or practice, whatever, I compile 1,000 excuses in my mind to tell my coach why I was late. So we needed to be there ahead of time so you could have your mind relaxed and fresh. You gotta know that. So in volleyball, when a game starts at 7 o'clock, it doesn't really start at 7 o'clock. It really starts at 6. The clock starts at 6 o'clock. That leads right up into like what Karen was talking about. That clock starts at a certain time, and every minute counts for something to do in the process right up to the national anthem. Right up to the national
Yeah.
anthem. So that's what happened. And my guys had the opportunity, with the whole thing with the Kaepernick, taking a knee and stuff. I used to tell the guys, they come from all over the world. If you don't believe in the national anthem, you can wait in the locker room until we finish, and they'll come back to say for the announcements and stuff. And that's prior to that. So it was very interesting in return. I also have a classroom lesson that I work on. We had to study the thing called stages of change, and in stages of change because I also teach classes with Department of Health. I'm not just about volleyball, sports, I teach courses in this Department of Health with a concentration with HIV and other infection control diseases. So I teach classes in terms of group dynamics. And in that group dynamics, you have a thing called, you could look it up too. It talks about stages of change and how do things happen in changes. So when the guys meet each other for the first time, they might have a period of storming. Jackie, and I want to know what Pang is about. I want to know what Mambi is about. I'm going to fall back and see who he is and check out his vibe. Where he from? He from this island, so he might act this way. So that's the stage of storming. And what do you do when team members are storming? You try to blend the enemies together. You put them together, and so I will put it to two people who didn't like each other, or quote to quote, I said they didn't like each other because you want to team to do everything together. You have to do everything together. So then you also have a thing we call forming, and in the stage of forming is how the team is now coming together in a way. A lot of people then go to the ego, to the attitudes, or I don't like he shouldn't be playing. So they start to learn that process, that's the forming stage. And by the time they get over that forming stage, now it's time to go to a stage we call the norming. How do you norm? What age did you start coaching? I will get that question in a while, Temo. It depends on what sports we're talking about. All right? And so the norming stage is when now everybody gelling. We know we're gelling. Or we're on gel, right? Now we know each other. And then you go into a performance stage. That is stage where I as a coach could also fall back and watch the game because you know what to do and you know how to do it now. So you're performing. And a lot of times, some players at the end of the season, the seniors, they're leaving. So again, we call it the adjourning stage. How do you say goodbye to your teammates that you're not going to see no more? And how does the teammate feel like you're leaving out because they was right with you together for a long time. They were you right and die. So what will happen? So that tends to happen in the process. So we sit down, we talk about that because I use my counseling skills a lot when I do my volleyball training. And so if you miss 10 shots time, let's say you miss 10 shots, remember you caught 20 balls today, right? I'm not going to talk about your negatives. I'm not going to tell man, you missed 10 shots today, blah, blah. No, that's not here or there. Because you already as an athlete, you know you missed 10 shots. You know you threw 20 balls. You know that. So my job to you is man, the game was an interesting game today, Pang. What can you do to make 10 more shots? Now you're going to tell me what you're going to do. So now I'm going to implement that in your activity, your drill for tomorrow. You tell me that you're gonna do this tomorrow. So I use a technique called motivational interviewing with the teammates. I don't bash your negative because you already feeling bad and down that you made these negatives. So let's talk about how can you make this better for you.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a whole skill. It's a whole skill, and I call Division 3 sports, and I always said my players they pay to play. They don't get paid to play because they're paying tuition and they want to play sports. A lot of them,
Yeah, that's true.
they're not going to go to the NCAA basketball. I'm not the NCAA. They're not going to the professional level. They just want to play the sport that they love to play. So I also had to pull back on some things that my change of scope had to change a bit because when I first came on as a coach, I had to set a standard. And I used to call me the mean nice coach. Standing at 5'5" with the mean nice coach. There were times when I had to take the chair and put in the center of the squad and stand in the chair to come to event to discuss something. Because you know what it is when the guys are looking out at you and they're pointing their hand on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So I just slam my chair in the middle of the court or whatever, stand on my court and pull out my chest and in your face. Yeah. So
I wanted to ask you, when it comes to coaching and being that you came across much success in coaching, like talk about some of the adversities that you had to like overcome becoming a coach, like especially like a first time coach, like some of the adversities you went through. You mentioned you pair some of the players that didn't like each other. Like I wanted to know if you ever had stuff like that ever backfired on you and things of that nature, like just some of the difficulties. Well, I wouldn't call it difficulties because if you love coaching, those type adversity is not difficulty to you. It's just a way to learn and become better. So what type of adversities you went through as
Good, good,
a new coach?
good question. Very good question because cultural adversities. I had to actually learn the culture of the players.
Mm.
So my players. So I had a player from India that he called Superman, and I couldn't get to change his style of playing. And I had what I did. I went to see him play at a tournament around his cultural people, And I said, this is the way why John does what he do. And so we were hit head at the time. But what happened is that I had to change the position to make him feel comfortable and also make me comfortable. So that tends to happen. And I trusted the state of change theory. I trusted that theory, and I knew that it was gonna work because people don't like changes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time I would talk about changes. Changes are hard. Changes are hard, and you just have to have patience. And coming from, like I said, coming from a high school in New York that doesn't have good coaching techniques, that was a challenge. So when they come to my school, I just tell them, I don't want to see your high school jersey, your T-shirt, your high school basketball pants on. You're gonna be in your college stuff because I want to your base, and I don't want to hear about your. Well, my coach said this in high school. I said, well, your coach, all right, he's a good coach, or he, she, or this a good coach, but apparently this is college ball, and this is boys to men. This is called
Mm-hmm.
men ball, and you are 17, 18 year old right now. You are playing against a guy who's 25, 26, 27, who will knock the hell out of you. Okay, so the adversity is part of a bit of understanding one's culture, and being that I speak
It's
Spanish as well
important.
too. I speak Spanish as well, so there are times I gotta look at a player who know his. I gotta know a player's limit as well. I gotta see what a player's limit. I can't tell a guy to jump on a box. And I know he can't jump on top of the box. In a workout. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to know that person's limit. I remember my niece coming from between Cookland. She came to see my team play one year, and she was in the stands. And when the game over, she came to say, Uncle Jay. I said, what? She said, you got a good team, but it's scared of you. I was like, what? That big guy scared of me? She said, they're a good team, but it's scared of you. And so I knew I had to like somehow scale back my VI type attitude or training to blend it to make it relaxing for them to play. Because they run to the AD in a minute, and complain,
Oh
coach made me do
wow.
this, coach made me do that. I made him do it one time. He disrespected the school. I made him run around the school, the whole school campus for two times. And when he came back in, 1,000 lines. You would not go disrespect the school. He called me in the
Yes.
office. That's corporal punishment. I said I ain't punch him or anything. I just make him run around the school. We got security cameras all around the campus. I said he had to wear 1,000 lines. He's not gonna disrespect the school. My school, your school. So again, so diversity, you have to learn how to change, adapt to the student's way of life, and keep it in mind is Division 3. And again, I have to sit back and think about what if he, she, or they are going through at home.
That's true. That's important.
That's
Very
important,
important.
And I was very glad that when Dowling and Paige
Yes.
told their journey about mental health, and it's very important because I've lost two students in the conference. A young lady who also plays softball for me on my traveling team to St. Croix had committed suicide.
Wow.
And you'll never know that they have a lot of issues going on. So again, I find ways to talk to the student athlete. If I can't talk to them, I have my assistant coach talk to them first. and see what's happening. I had a young man on my squad. He just like he was a man because he come from a bunch of women line up, and he was a culture. He's of course Latino, so he was my Mr. Machismo. Mama did everything for him. Grandma did everything for him. Aunt did everything for him, and so I had to like sit him down one day and say, "Look, this is a different world, Papa. Aquí no. Aquí yo es el jefe. I'm the boss." you know, that's what I tell him. I said, "I'm the boss," and I said, "The reason my freshman students, when they leave practice at 6 o'clock or whatever time, 6, 7 o'clock, I give them a time to get home. Remember, you gotta go home by 7 o'clock. Your journey should take an hour. If you pass an hour, I call your mother. My freshman students, I'll do that. See, I'll call their parents and say, is Andrew home yet?" So Andre had time to hang out between practice and his journey home.
Yeah.
Because this is New York. This is New York. This is the city of violence and shit to be happening. So as a freshman player, I want to make sure you get home within that time. The seniors now, they're grown now. You got a car, they do what they got to do. But the freshmen under my watch, they had to be home at a certain time after practice. Our limit for them to practice to get home after practice, 1 hour. That's how I roll some of them. And they had to travel in pairs to the train station, in the whole process. I give them a book to read. I suggest a book to read for them. I suggested a book that they should read. And I have posted before the book called Who Moved My Cheese? And it talks about...
Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah. It's by Spencer Johnson. Talks about 3 rats, 3 mice. Simple reading on. The 3 mice start at the same place. And as they go through the cheese factory, oh my God, we found some cheese here. We're in heaven. So the first mouse, said, basically, I can't tired, I'm satisfied with this right here. And that's an athlete who just satisfied with just being on a team. Because I just on a team, so they're satisfied with being on a team.
Yeah.
And when the other mice is saying, "Come, let's move forward, man. I'm gonna chill out." So the second mouse, the other 2 mouse journey on to get to a certain point. And then that part, the other second mouse were like, "No, I go by them and I come to my limit, so I'm in heaven, and don't eat up all that stuff we gotta do." So the tall mouse keep saying, no, come on, let's go. We're gonna get to the goal that we're supposed to get to that championship. No, I mean we are in the championship. I just want to get. So the tall mouse continue on to the goal. So that mouse actually fulfill his dreams.
Right.
When the other 2 in the back, when the first mouse had finished eating up all the cheese, he couldn't go no more because he didn't know where the people went. Same thing happened to the second one. He didn't know where the tall one went, but at the end of the day, the tall one was the prize winner. He had a piece of every part of the cheese. And so that's what happened in teams, We're going to have to move them on. And that book talks about that very much. Then there's another book I suggest him to read, because, I like to suggest things to people, suggest stuff you could read it and I'll test you on it. It's called People Making It, or People Make It. And that's by Virginia Satir. That book talk about, she said, 4 things people with 4 hugs. You need 4 hugs. 4 hugs a day is for survival. 8 hugs a day is for maturity and for mental status. And the 12 hugs is equals growth in life. So whenever you greet your teammates and you calling them, you kind of embracing, you give them a hug, because when you call your teammate today, you feel good. He, she, or they feel good that, somebody care about me. And so all that part is part of the psyche to keep your team motivated, keep the team going forward in the process. Then the other book, the other lesson I teach is about lessons from the geese. Someone mentioned before in podcast, lesson from the geese. And that talked to her name is Lolly Daskal, and she talks about when geese flies in formation, going to a goal, and they flap their wings about 80%, we're going to get someplace. And that's the part about unifying your team. And when your team understand that unifying and we're getting to our mission, they're going to try to struggle together. Then the next phase of that is called the interdependency, when I depend on you to help me, I'm also helping myself to help you. So that's part of building in the process, and that's part of that how the Keystone works. So as we playing basketball, I get my team will rely on me, and I'm gonna rely on them. We'll hold each other up in the process, and as we go through a whole cycle of things, we look at what's the outcome. Man, you had a good game today. You had a good 3 point shot today. I like that you strike out 12 man today, man. You was on point today, man. I like that. That's the part of encouragement, and people always want encouragement. So if I can encourage
It's
you
true.
and everything on a daily basis in practice or in games, that gonna push you forward. So we look at our process and then we look at the loyalty. Loyalty is in trusting your teammate, trusting your coach, trusting your program, being loyal. And when it comes to student athletes who got classes, who got homework assignment, I always tell them, you could miss my practice today for educational stuff. But if I walk in the mall and I see in the mall, you just broke the whole loyalty to the whole program. So that's for sure. And of course, then we talk about rejuvenation. You play so hard, you work so hard. Let's just regroup the body to do some stress reduction stuff. And all that stuff is very important for the student to really walk through and understanding how life is by using the piece formation. Yeah,
I want
Did,
to go ahead, Mama.
go ahead.
oh, I was gonna ask, is there a season that stands out to you coaching?
Yes, 2014 and 15 and 16 and 17. Yes, when I captured 24 seasonal wins. When my team broke the school record of winning 24 games in the season, 24 and 10.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
they was
good.
on a
That's good.
mission and producing about 5 all-star players. Producing one guy we call the Beast from Haiti, who's a junior. Gofard. He was ranked he was in the top 4 picks in Division 3 volleyball, men's volleyball. And that same season, he went on to play for the national team for Haiti and went on to the World Championships out there in Colorado Springs.
Oh,
And what
wow.
I like when he came back to school, because first he came to me and said, Coach, my people want me to come and play for the country team, blah, blah. And I said, this is the biggest opportunity in life. You get one-time shot to be a national player. You never know what will happen after that. Now, if this is your first time national player, I said, get on the boat, get on the ship, and get your team going. He said, get your boat going, and we're going to be here to support you. So he went out there. He had to do an ICU. And when he came back, the first thing I asked him, okay, I'm a track man, right? I'm a track and field man, right? So in practice, before practice starts, the team had to run 2 miles every day before practice starts. And if you don't do 2 miles, I'll put a timer on it. I say you have to run for 30 minutes because I know in track, 2 miles you could do it in 15 minutes. So you have,
Yeah.
yes, you run for 30 minutes. Okay, so mathematically I had him gone. So he got to the World Championship with his country team. When he came back, I said, Junior, I'm going to tell you guys your experience and what you like about it and how was the preparation for the atmosphere. He started laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing about? He said, Coach, man, he hugged me. He said, Coach, I want to thank you. I said, thank you for what? For telling to get your ball to the nationals and to get your ball to the World Championships. He said, no, it's beyond that. I said, what do you mean beyond that? He said, those 2 mile run. Every morning we ran 2 miles before we started to practice at the World Championships. I said,
Wow.
oh, that's all right. So I think Coach was talking garbage when Coach was telling y'all in French and English because you parlez français, Paul. So I mean, having an international team, you learn to speak Polish, you learn to speak Spanish more, you know,
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
Everything, you learn the language of other sports. So if you play overseas ball someplace, you're gonna learn that language of sports you're playing. You know, you played overseas ball, right, Kang?
No, no, no.
No,
Just
you
just traveling with the national team.
with
That's
the
about
national.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I sure bet Tegan learned to speak a couple
Oh, he
languages.
he he fluent
Hmm.
in Spanish.
Yeah, and that tends to
It's
happen
pretty
when you
good.
travel to a team and you come into different cities and be able to learn to speak the language and get teammates. Yeah, so and I produced a lot of good defensive player because my game was about defense. As a defensive player, my game was about defense. Offense come. My grandmother hit the ball with the net as long as you give up high set. So that's the whole thing. And that time, because you gotta be smart. The key is not to hit the ball to a player. Because you hit the ball to a player, hey, right here, it's mine. It's to make a person move left, right, forward, or backwards. And so in that whole spectrum, that's the circle, north, south, east, west. If the player could move in any direction, you could somehow it could beat them. You know, and that's what
Good. I
that's.
I wanted to go back to that question one of the viewers asked you, and I want to add to it.
Okay.
Mumba, you maybe could find a question to see who asked it, so I could give them the credit for their question. At what age did you started coaching?
Yeah.
And I want to add to that too. What is the difference of coaching back then to coaching now? Like, what is the difference in the players from coaching back then to the players now?
Okay. At the age I started the girls softball team I coached in St. Clair, I developed my own team, which was called the Phillies. I was in high school. I was a sophomore. You know, but I apply what I was taught to me by the professional baseball players that I learned in the process. So what Plaskett or Harris Clark or Coach Williams or Coach Duca, you know, and Tasco Martin and them guys had taught me as a player, I applied it to the women's team that was coaching in St. Croix, the Phillies team, and that was the age of 16. So I also had learned how to study the game, and I was with Genius when I was young. I was able to talk to him. He said, "People don't study the game; they just play the game. No, people don't study the game." So I started to study the game, and by studying the game, I was a softball pitcher as well. So I had to study. I would study you, Pang, and Pambe.
Mumba.
If you are back in the box, and I'm pitching against you, I'm watching to see how close are you to the plate, how far away from the plate, if you up in front of the plate, if you're back in front of the plate, so I can know what to do. I clocked 15 strikeouts against a team from Puerto Rico in a tournament in St. Croix in Farm Park. 15 strikeouts. And my brother was my catcher. So it was really interesting. That was a good time to pitch a game against PR. I also studied by looking at reading some books, how to hold the ball, how to grip the ball, how to practice it, and then I would try it again in our front yard. And if I throw a high pitch in my front yard, I would break up my modern window because it was hot glass. So I had learned to control the ball by keeping the ball low. Keeping the ball low. So again, that was like my first time back then studying the game at a young age at 16. And compared to now, I had to now learn cultural diversity. Cultural diversity because at home, you know, you're just coach everybody the same culture. And
Easy.
so it's easy for me to get a bottle, man. And you now get 10 cents. You know, everybody get a car. Winners get a car, losers get a car. Everybody get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. So what kind of nonsense is that to me? Well, like, how could everybody get a car when everybody didn't promote?
Right.
So that alone had kind of changed the dynamic. You know, let's play for fun. Winning is fun because when you get over 25, people can start transferring to different schools and stuff like that. So
that's true.
We got to know exactly people want to win today. You know, and what it means to win. Do you want to win by helping a program develop from a 0 record to a 5-game season, whatever, and having fun? So what is it about? I need to know what it is about. So that's where my career started. And in the volleyball, I travel all over the. I got a question from I can't see it right now. Get a question from Mark Joseph Daniels. Yeah.
Coach Titus was one of the trainers for VI National Youth Boys Volleyball team that won the gold medal in the Caribbean Zonal Volleyball Championship in St. Croix in 2012.
Yeah.
So is he's a Virgin Islander, Mark Joseph
Yeah,
Daniel?
Mark, yeah, that's my boy from St. Thomas. He's the head coach for one of the youth teams down there as well. And
Good.
Apostle like Mark, who puts in a lot of work in coming to St. Croix to train the guys and going back and forth with the guys and the girls team. You know, he's been in the game for a long time, and so we definitely have some good coaches on there who will dedicate himself. We have Isaac, I think he's Ralph Isaac or Isaac Ralph. He lives in the Florida area. I gotta become a boy J- um Jelani Richards. He's doing some
Jelani.
good stuff in the Florida area as a volleyball coach.
Yeah.
He's really doing some good stuff.
I
So
remember I remember Jelani.
yeah,
He he a little bit older than you, remember? Or about the
No, no,
no,
same
no.
age?
He young.
same age.
He but a year younger, year or two younger than me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's the same age.
I remember him on the scene.
yeah. He played with
Yeah.
He also played with Ryan and
Yep.
them boys. Same thing, same time. Yes. I want. No, I'm gonna talk a bit about recruitment because recruitment is could be tough, it could be easy, it could be hard. It depends on where you come from. And people ask you, okay, how can you get the boys from the VI to play volleyball for you and everything? As much as I come home to St. Croix and I go on the radio station, I talk about recruiting young men to play volleyball for me. Because we're such a multi-sport athlete player, we play baseball and volleyball and basketball. They tend to go towards those direction, basketball or volleyball. I mean, basketball or baseball.
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 Yeah.
So it's hard to recruit them to play ball for me. But now, if they don't play basketball or baseball, but they're problematic, they're in trouble. And I'm not gonna
Mm,
say what kind of trouble they're in, but they're in that process. I love to bring them abroad, away from that scenario, and bring them to the school and help them grow in the process. And that's why I like to work with students who may not have a chance be in a big be in a big pond. But I will tell you, you could be a big fish in a little pond, and you could still be the player of the year in your conference.
That's
Hey,
true.
I'm the player of the year in my conference. I was the MVP for my conference. I was the final four pick of pick for my conference, and that's feel good. And at the same time, they are training towards the national team, and that's why I really want. There were 5 young men that went out to school up now. I went out to college name because I would tell them some coaches are going to tell you what they want to tell you, but you got to understand in Division 1 you're getting full right, Division 2 you're getting pass right, Division 3 you're not getting it right. You're going to be academically inclined, and that's a team. So these 5 players that I was working with out of the VI, the junior national teams, I wanted to come to my school to play for me as well. And the reason why I wanted to all to come because I wanted to keep them together as a team. And when they go back to Miss Hobson and go back to Mel and this team, this national team, they get all the skills and they get all the exposures. So they went out to Mississippi, and I was getting phone call from them. Oh, coach, we don't have this, we don't have that. And what could I tell them? Yeah, sign for that college.
Yeah.
That was the college you choose. You sign with that school because they promise you a whole rose garden and get a bunch of garbage. He also does. He also does himself for each quarter in high school. So yes. I came down to Central High in 2016 along with one of my female basketball celebrity right now. She is. Her name is Gabrielle Brown, and we did a whole clinic for 4 days.
Oh
And in
wow,
that clinic
nice.
we did, yeah, well, we did a clinic. We met with Iceman. Iceman, I get in contact with Iceman. He got us in contact with Miss Hobson. Miss Hobson got us in contact with how we're gonna do this thing, and we made it happen. Coach Bob was there. All the coaches. So what was it all about? It was about I did the piece on motivational interviewing on motivating teams, and I did a sit down classroom with them. So my counterpart, Gigi, she did all the physical pieces because she was nice. She could roll the ball, she coaches ball, she worked with Stephen Curry, she worked with Durant. She's in the commercial and stuff, and she's a fitness trainer when it comes to the sports of basketball. I would definitely would like to come back to St. Croix. So the kids met us that Thursday. We came in Thursday in the gym. We run a lot of activities for the kids, and we had the coaches to be on the sideline to watch what's going on. Then what we did, we had a classroom setting for the coaches, I give them a pre-test. They have to do a pre-test first, right? Checking the knowledge, and then we had a classroom setting with all the different things. I had a workshop around what is motivation. How do you motivate an athlete in the sports, any sports? So we had to figure out self motivation and team motivation, and had to define it and come up with a lot of strategies. And how do you motivate a student athlete who wants to play but don't care to play, but they want to play? You know, they're ambivalent and the fence. And what do you do? How do you deal with a student athlete who, yeah, he the man, but when it comes to playoff, he's scared and he ain't playing ball or she
Yeah,
not playing
freeze
ball.
up.
The
Freeze up.
James Harden
Yeah.
effect.
Huh?
The James Harden
James
effect.
Harden.
You know? So am I going to raise this person to play in the playoff or not? Let me see. I got to know my athlete. So again, understand that person. You got to know who's a league player and who is a playoff player. Who wants to show out in the playoff and do that process. You know,
Yeah,
so important.
I don't want skip past DCAM question.
Mm-hmm.
He said, which team would you say was the hardest to play again in, I don't want to pronounce that word wrong,
CUNY.
CUNY, okay. For all these years, which other team would you give the most respect to playing against in CUNY?
I know where you're coming from with this question. Good question. Being that the school, I give respect to a school like not the top dollar schools, okay? Because a lot of coaches will coach top dollar schools or top schools, but they can't coach bottom schools. So they inherit big schools. So whenever I'm gonna call the school name, whenever Mega Evans College played against your college, we used to call it the International Olympics.
Oh wow.
Because it was about Caribbeans and international students playing against each other. So that's where you saw the best of the best in a match of a game. You see the ability of the African American Caribbean people playing the sports of volleyball. You know, then again, the biggest accomplishment for us at York, and I also fell into, was when they had actually went on to the Big Four. And for us is when we knocked out the number one seed team 2 years back to back. As well. And again, having a right hand person, my assistant coach is a female coach. She's a female, and she been my coach for 20-something years too.
Oh wow, long time.
Yeah, long time. Like a married couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. And
Yeah.
and the people who work with us, they be like, oh my God, you know, coach Marshall, coach that, they don't go at it. And also, I had brought home a team from St. Croix. I mean, I brought home my softball team. I was the first softball coach at York College. So in 2003, I brought down my softball women's team. I bring a collaboration of girls from New York to play, who are playing in our conference, in the CUNY Conference. Pang, that's the name of this CUNY Conference, City University of New York. That's what it stands for. And I brought them home, and they had a ball. The reason why I brought them home to play softball, I wanted to see exactly part of why I'm the way I am when it comes to coaching,
Yeah.
to see exactly how I was coached. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring them to St. Croix so you could see exactly and how early these young girls start playing softball. So that was one of the reasons why when I brought home my team aggression from New York to St. Croix, it was a combination of my college women team and a couple of schools as well. And they enjoyed it. 2 years back to back, they enjoyed it. We beat Totola, we beat St. Martin, but we just didn't beat St. Croix.
How long did you coach at York for softball? How many seasons?
Softball, about 3 seasons.
Okay.
About 3 seasons for them, yeah. One of the years in the season, the number one team, we were playing them in the playoff. We had them beat up to the 6th inning, and all of a sudden the umpire started calling illegal pitch.
Jeez.
So my pitcher started to get upset. Now, like, hold on. I went to him and said, 6th inning, we're beating the returning champion from last year. We're the underdog team. What's the difference now? You're calling illegal pitch now, but she's in the sixth inning,
Yeah, that make no
and she pitched
sense.
20 games coming into the season right here, to this match right here. So what's happening here? What's going on here? So that turned out to be a little disaster at the end because they're like, I call my girls in and say, they're up against y'all, and everything y'all do this is illegal pitching. They call illegal pitching. The pitcher I tell us throw 100 illegal pitch. I went to my VI attitude. Just throw 100 illegal pitch. Don't change it because we know what the deal is. Because
Yeah.
they were the championship team and again it was the tail kick this year. But I was a coach for the team for 3 years. How I got a coaching position as a softball coach, the head softball coach couldn't deal with the non-players, players who couldn't really play softball. So I had to go there and help him, and he told the AD he should give me the job. So I was coaching softball, women volleyball, and man volleyball at the same time. But I know when I took that position, I told my sister, who plays softball and plays with a good national team as well, I said, man, I got a bad news, big girls. She said, JR, don't treat them like that. She said, just have patience and just teach them the skill the correct way. Win or lose, so teaching the skill the correct way, and I did. And I did. And girl couldn't hit the ball for shit. Okay? I'm serious. They couldn't hit the ball for nothing. So what I did with them, I'll tell you what I did with them. I took them outside to practice in the field at nighttime with no lights.
Wow.
With no lights. I said, if you can catch the ball in the dark, you're going to catch the ball in the sunlight.
That's true.
And that's why I keep on drilling them. You catch the ball in the dark, you get some. Man, y'all get by, hit y'all in the shoulders, hit them in the foreheads. But eventually, they was able to adjust those eyes to the darkness and start playing ball. So when we came to light, big turnaround. Big turnaround in the process. So I tell them we're going to go to St. Croix to see how the young girls play softball in St. Croix and how they are coached and how the coaches may bark at them. And they're not going to get a little attitude that y'all be giving me once in a while. And so they were able to see that process. And it changed the program a good bit. Yeah. So I was that coach. I even coached tennis for one match.
Oh yeah.
And I had a win. The only win 2 seasons ago. The tennis team lost all the games, but the one win was under me.
Man, that's good. That's good. 1,000 winning percentage. 1,000. That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I
Pang,
give a lot of shout out to my assistant coach who been on a journey with me. You gotta give them the props because they see things you don't see, and they feed you things that you don't see or hear or whatever. They also are there to help you when a player acting out. They could work with the process, And I'm a coach who didn't scared to challenge the authorities. I never scared to challenge the AD. The first AD I had went to school with me, so we knew each other because I was his basketball manager back then in the 80s. So we worked good together when he was the AD, but the other AD came aboard. I just lost. I'm a challenger. You're not gonna disrespect the sports of any sports. I favor 18. That's not right.
yeah.
In part of the adversities, the question I was trying, one of the adversities I dealt with as well, coming in as a coach. When I walked into the gym, I asked them, where does the men's basketball play at? They tell you they play on the main court. And I said, where does the men's volleyball or the women's volleyball play at? They said they play behind the bleachers. I said, what? Behind the bleachers. I said, no. Starting this season, you can paint some lines on our main basketball court. We're going to put on a volleyball court because when you come to see a game, they come in to see the main gym. So the next season they did that. I said, I want the guys to see real competition, some more competition, intense competition. So I developed the York House Classic for 10 years. I invite teams from Puerto Rico, University of Puerto Rico came out to play. Teams of Indiana, teams from North Carolina, some D1, some D2 schools came to play in our Division III tournament at that time. And I remember the 80 said, this can't happen. This guy said, wait a minute, it can't happen. I said, I already invited the schools to be here. They're going to be here for 2 days, so it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. And once it happened, it was like, oh my God. So we went out from 1 year to 10 years of having the York College Volleyball Classic. And unlike volleyball and basketball we know that's the money maker. We know
Yeah.
football is the money maker. The way volleyball gonna become a money maker in the Division One school is that you gotta be Pepperdine, you gotta be Penn State, and all the school up there. There are more men volleyball programs in Division Three than there are in two and one put together.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people know that.
Jeez.
Yep, and that's why we have a Division Three championship now, because a lot of schools have come in to join, and a lot of students who've been sitting the bench in Division Twos transfer to Division Three school teams because everybody want a car.
Yeah.
Everybody want a car. Everybody want a medal or something. So that's what. So my thing with my guys, I constantly tell them, at the end of the day, when we get to the championship, and we got it a couple times, three times. My word to them is this: it takes two teams to be a champion, but only one go win the medal tonight. So regardless of what happened tonight, you're still a champion. As there be no championship match. So that's what's called championship finals.
Yeah.
So you gotta take that and run with it. Yep.
With
So
which sport was the most challenging to coach? Out of softball,
which
volleyball.
sports?
Yeah, which sport? Track, volleyball, softball. Which one was the most challenging to you?
Well, the most challenging one was, of course, the softball team because softball in New York is not like how it is in at home. Hold on a second. It's not like how it is at home. I might have to get some buzzing sound. I don't know. I'm sure I'm kind of losing power here. Hold on.
Yeah, pan your mic mute.
Okay. Yeah. So softball because the women didn't have much skills like the volleyball team had skills and the women volleyball team had skills. So
Yeah,
it was, like I said, they were the
Mhm.
bad news bears. So and then I was told by my sister just have patience with them, give them some time to come around. And so that was the most challenging team to coach. But eventually it came around and become, like I said, if you treat a person like they're gonna be a professional, they're gonna play like a professional to their ability,
yeah,
and that's what it is. And I always have a quote that at the end of the day, win or lose, I would say we talk about every experience is a learning experience, and that's my takeaway at all times with my team. How
we
many
have a viewer question here. How many championships have you won?
I haven't won a championship. I've been to the championships.
Oh man,
We won
close,
that. We've been
close.
close. We've been close, and that didn't capitalize. But that's why my spirit always takes two teams to get the championship. So you are a champion when you make it to the finals.
That's facts.
Yeah,
Why have-
we have two questions from the same from Dwayne. Why have you stayed at York so long, and have have other schools tried to recruit you to coach for them?
I had other school that tried to recruit me to develop the program and start to study on program and stuff. But one of the things that I'm alumni of your college as well. Okay, and I know I watch, for example, when they give up the women's volleyball team, you gotta be in this business here. You gotta just love the business. You gotta understand the culture of the business. If you don't understand the culture of the business, you're gonna be in the program for 2 years, 1 year, whatever. Since I've been out to the women's volleyball program, we have had 4 coaches came to coach them, and every other year they turn over because they never understand the culture of the school.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really stayed in the program for a long time.
Okay.
A good question. That's what the last AD had asked me. He said, "So why you stay here all these years?" I said I could have gone other places, but I love to see development. I love to see the growth. I like to see you come from scratch and you become somebody. And my
Yeah.
mission was to help you come into school and you're in school for 4 years and had the joy of your time to play this game of volleyball. Like I said, they pay to play. They're not on scholarships. So you're on my scholarship. I could tell you, yo, you have the team. You go home. Blah blah blah. I won't do that to them because I know they sacrifice. At the end of the day, they sacrifice. And one of the things about my team is that they really get to that team of the year award for the count for the school and everything. I have about 8 sportsmanship awards. I was coach of the year in 2004. That was with,
Oh, nice.
and I was happy to share that with Ryan because Ryan Rollins, he was all tournament conference all tournament player. You know, so I was happy to share that with my hometown individual. Yes. Yep. So it's good. So I'm here to help the students who believe it, who can move on to the big leagues. So those who go to Division 1, Division 2, you come to me. I have David Heiliger Jr. right now with me for St. Thomas, and he's doing some good work in the process. He's like I told Mommy earlier, he's number 4 in the CUNY conference as a freshman. He ranked number 4, and we didn't complete our season. We didn't complete our season because of COVID-19, and I'm moving that arena right now. I'm going to talk a bit about COVID-19 because I too myself came out with COVID-19 in March, the month of March, and is a lot of people say it's not real. This is not real, but again, COVID-19 is actually real. I never get sick in my whole career. I don't really get sick. I got sick when I was a little boy with asthma, but as an adult, I never really got sick. Okay? I can't remember having a flu. What the hell is a flu? You know. So March 18th, I had a first fever, and it went away overnight. Just went away. And I contacted my doctor and said, look, man, I had a fever last night. This is for real. I contacted my sister and say, I had a fever last night. And this is March 18th. And this was when coronavirus had came to the city of New York. And people were like really dying like crazy. And so what happened at the moment, just about a week before that, I had to meet with my team to tell the team the season was going to come to end because of COVID-19. And I prefer to have you guys come back in 2021 or 2022 healthy and alive than to have a memorial for my volleyball players. So they're like, we sat down and talked about it. So when I first got this fever and stuff, I was like, this ain't for real now, you know. So by calling my doctor, he was like, oh, how you feel? I said, I feel good today. He said, well, could you go get some Tylenol and some rheumatism? And I told my sister, she said, well, I want to send you some sapbush and some grass, and she started packing her box. It's like the herbologist came out of the herb roots again. My uncle from Angola, he's a specialist, guy was so this said everything possible. Mint grass.
Hey, you not to interrupt, but you breaking up real bad right now.
Again?
Yeah, real bad.
Let's try again. Going on this. Yeah, so they sent all that stuff, man, and I just started treating myself. I said I'm not going to the hospital. I'm sorry. So I was home for days and suffering, and the fever came on to me again. And let me tell you, when it came back the second time, it came back worse. It came back like I told the doctor. I told the doctor I think that Lucifer and the devil came into my apartment and was like burning up everything. I said, everything I touched, I like burned up. He's like, what are you talking about? He's from China. He said, just don't go to the hospital, Andre. I didn't go. Burning chest pain. I had to go into my mind and start trying to fight the virus from a clinical side that I know of. Because I can tell you guys, I work with the Department of Health, and we're part of the whole team of eradicating any kind of disease and infection. So I did breathing exercises. I drink soursop tea, lemongrass bush. I rubbed down with face, everything. I did everything at night. I just kept on, and just one day I just had a stressful call, and when I got a stressful call, man, that's the first time I started coughing, couldn't stop. And my cousin said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just here, just coughing my lungs off for 2 hours." And she said, "I could hear the TV in the background." She said, "Turn the S off." He said that TV will kill you or no what, because all you can hear about people getting sick and people dying. So which one you want to be? You want to be the sick one? You want to be the dead one? So I just turn off TV, turn off radio, turn off everything. Prayers work. I believe in a thing called self. I believe in God, self, and others. I really worship Him as well. So all that stuff went on. it comes in different fashion, different I said different fashion, and not everybody get the same set of symptoms. But I went to a class in out of Africa online, and the doctor talked about how when the virus comes in the body, it does its damage, but it leaves the body after 7 days. So after 7 days, I know it wasn't infectious, but after 7 days, it was to part of trying to recuperate that they already had done damage to your lungs or your breathing and stuff like that. So now what you're gonna do, you're gonna rehab, and how you're gonna rehab through the process. You're gonna I took steam, take steam. You put it. I had the steam in the pot with the herbs. I inhale the steam constantly every day. I would do. I couldn't lay back in the bed. I couldn't lay back on the sofa. I had to sit up straight.
Sit up
I
straight.
had to inhale. I had to like bring my hands above my head, take a deep breath, hold it as long as I could, and blow it out.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on doing it, constantly doing it every day. I walked around in my apartment for like an hour every morning. My brother would call me and he said, "Get up, man! Don't let the virus beat you. I'm gonna walk you for a whole
That's true.
hour. Walk you for a whole hour. I will walk around the apartment for a whole hour." And I did all that stuff. And that one day I just say, I just got up and I was like, I sick of tired of drinking soup. I want some to eat hot salad. I got up and I went to the kitchen for the first time and I saw some fungi. I made some fungi and I ate a bowl of fungi here. When I
Mm-hmm.
ate that bowl of fungi with some butter sauce, but the butter sauce had in lemongrass, it had in soursop bush, it had in
Nice.
turmeric, it had in garlic, it had in ginger, it had everything under the sun in that sauce. I ate one bowl. I ate two bowls. I ate three, four, and I just felt much better. And I ate fungi for like about 5 days straight. Fungi and butter sauce.
Hmm.
Yeah. But again,
That's what's
and
up.
it was rough.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good that you're healthy now.
yeah, man. I'm glad to see you still here with us, man. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
tough story.
We did
We
I'm sorry. We did a part video. If you go to your website, you will find it. And, okay, when I got sick, I called the team and said, "Look, man, coach is sick, and I want you to do this for me. I want you to. We're gonna do a public announcement video and telling people to wear the masks, stay home, wear a mask, wash your hands, the simple stuff like that to save lives." And we did that. So it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on every type of social media platform.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you share that. You still here to share that story with us because there is a lot of people out there that don't think that it's serious. I think it's real. What I try to do is just when I'm out and about, I just try to protect myself, you know, and just be safe, you know. I hate the fact that we have to stay inside as much as we do, but you know, you just got to obey the rules and
Yeah.
so we able to stay here longer, you know, and not contract that virus because, like you say, it's real serious.
Yes.
I've known people who lost family members and friends, and so it's definitely real, folks. If you don't believe it, even up to this day, if you don't believe it, it's very real.
Yeah, it is. It is real, and people need to understand about the difference between social gathering and social distancing. And I tell them, I had a beef with my nephew, and he like, well, if you was the same crew that gone to the beach, I said, going to the beach is one thing. Nothing wrong with going to the beach, but we talk about social gathering. Is like when I talk about your mama, your papa making a big pot of soup and rice and chicken and y'all there on the beach together for hours upon hours. I said that's a social gathering compared to social, distancing. If Uncle Jay go to the beach, Uncle Jay going to Lagoon or the bay by himself. Nobody really around. So that's
Yeah.
I'm not going to infect anybody. So I told him about the asymptomatic state before they even start talking about asymptomatic state. I said people are infecting people unknown to them because talking, spitting, singing, touching, certain surfaces, you don't know. So,
That's true.
I mean, simple stuff. Wear a mask. Just wear a mask, and don't. I'm like this. People who not wearing a mask, I'm not stressing about them because you don't want to add stress. As long as you doing your part, maybe somewhere along the line, someone's gonna follow and do their part. But
That's
don't
true.
Right.
come around me. I'm fair. Okay, it is a war.
Yeah.
It
That's
is it's
true.
serious. I lost coworkers. I lost some still from people at the college. I lost some people at the Department of Health who was close to me. And I never asked why I'm here. Why I'm here. There's a reason why I'm still around because I'm a person who can minister to y'all in sports, but I also can minister to your life in life. I believe in a couple of letters. I believe in the letter of GSO, God first, whoever He is for you. Self is about you, not your mama, your papa, your sister, your brother. It's about you first. It might sound like I'm selfish, but I'm not. I gotta heal myself first, then I could help others. But if you change that order around, you start helping others, and not worshiping somebody to guide you. Hi, Apostle Bonds. That's Mona is my being an apostle. I follow her every Sunday, So again, I felt it to them as well. But
Yeah.
in that process, I think about it, God, self, and others, and that's being spiritual. I'm being a calm person. I, you get your helpings and not being selfish. So you giving back. That tells me that you're not a selfish person. My son, he tell me that all the time. Christopher, and that's him. That's my boy right there. My son right there. Yes, my tiny little boy. GSO, right? And that's what happens. So understand that part, and also the LSD. LSD is for me is what I learned. I'm going to share it with you and do. I'm going to do it. So again, acronym letters. I go
Share
by that
too.
process: learn, share, and do. So what you learn, you're gonna share it, and I guess you're gonna keep on doing it.
I like
And then
that.
somebody's gonna do it too. Move pass it forward. And that's about that's part of the life of me growing up in the VI and continue my doings. And I just got a book from a young man yesterday in the mail. One of my other former students, he sent me a book. He called the Untethered Soul. Yeah, I can see it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, the untethered soul.
Yes, it says it's called, and it's by Michael A. Springer. And then I started reading this book, and it really talks about self-searching yourself. You know,
Okay.
yeah, so a soul search about you. It also talks about awakening your consciousness. It talks about experiencing energy, how you experience energy. It talks about freeing yourself in life. Letting go of now and fall, removing the inner thorns, and that's a part of cleansing. And as an athlete, when you really start thinking about who am I and what am I here for and what can I give to the people and what can I give back to the people, what can I LSD for somebody, and stuff like this helps you in the process. Going beyond, above and beyond. It's not about dollars. So when people ask me why I'm still here, you okay? Hi Mona.
Yeah. Good night,
Yes.
Mona. Good night.
Good
Good
night. Good
night.
night. I just say hi to you. Great ball player. Better softball player than the basketball player Mona was. Yes. Yes. Love her and her
Much
mama.
love. Much love,
Yeah.
Mona. Much love.
Much love, Ramona.
Yes. So as we clean our soul and understand our process as a young man growing up, people are looking at you as ambassadors, and that's exactly. So what I'm doing right now is like ministering to you as well, and you're gonna minister to some other young ones.
Yep.
Making sure that your household is right and clean and stuff. Have fun. You know, I come from a background. My mother was a pastor. She worked with Mona's mother as well. They worked together as sisterhoods, and
Okay.
my mother will tell our congregation people, don't press my children. She said, because my kids gonna come to the Lord the way they want to come. So we're gonna talk about spiritual. She said, I came through a different way, so my kids gonna come the way they want to come. So again, they know spiritual stuff. So let it be. And I believe in the universe. We're here for a reason. Right now we have this discussion because we're supposed to have it today.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
can't debate it. This is what's supposed to happen now. And that's why I speak on when I speak to people in counseling. We talk about in counseling. I talk about the the here and now as to what happened. You know, when the corona took me over, I didn't ask God why me. I didn't even say to him why me. I said to him, I'm happy it's me because you're gonna use me to teach somebody else something else. You gonna use me to help my family see, hey, this is some serious stuff right here, my son. Uncle J Guy, whatever it is. And of course, that's the process. So again, each of us have a journey, and on that journey, I want you to know your journey and know what you're here for. And it's not about financial. So when people ask me the question, why I'm still coaching at your college, because it's a journey, and I know I get rewards at the end of the day when I go to a graduation in June or May, and I graduate 5 guys on my team. I've said my job have been accomplished. A diploma versus a championship ring. If you take that ring and you take the diploma, and we go up to a little bit, and we put them in the water, the ring will sink. But the diploma is gonna stay on the ocean top like this. And that's the knowledge you have up in here that you're gonna constantly share. But you might be looking for a championship ring, and if you can't swim it, you can't dive, you can't find it.
I like that analogy. I like that.
So your knowledge is gonna be with you forever. Your ring could be stolen, your ring could be lost,
Sold.
so yeah. But the knowledge that you earn is gonna be all right. And your college and CUNY schools, we're not financially heavy. We're not financially heavy. But so we were like one of the lowest schools in the United States of America that you can get great education from. I got one. I got 2 from them. And look at me today, sharing the process. Yes, cuz Alex, because he's coaching today too. Yeah, that's my cousin. I work him out real hard. He's coaching out in Texas, and he have a son that we call he's how can I forget Sunday, man? He's a very good ball player out in Texas, and he someday might make it to the big schools as time goes on. Caden, his name is Caden Gums, and he's number 3. He ranked number 3 right now out there at Texas Central as a sophomore. He ranked number 3. He's 6'2", and his wingspan is like out here 6'6" something.
And that's basketball, right?
Basketball. So
Yeah,
people
man,
check
so-
him out. My cousin
good
is
luck to
also
him.
my cousin played basketball too. Y'all know her. Brittany Matthews. She played with the women's basketball team. Went to a great school in Texas. Y'all from the national basketball team. Y'all know Brittany Matthews.
I
No,
never had a run-in with Brittany Matthews. Do you know what year she played?
She played for Stevenson Austin out in Texas in that conference. She was one of the final 4 high school players, but she played for the VI national team. She graduated from that school in Texas. Brittany Matthews was part of the captain of the women's national team.
You know what year she played with the? You know what year she played with the VA national team?
Brittany played about give or take 5 years ago. Time moves so fast now, as you know. Yeah, about 5 years ago.
Yeah, I about 10, almost 10 years removed from the national team since the last time I played.
Yeah, she plays for them. She played for them. My other
Yeah,
niece,
over 10 years.
Yeah, she played for Tech. Although in Texas, she's a very good basketball player. She played for the national team as well. So I mean, she was the final 4. She was like a final. You know, I heard this in high school. The best 4 in Texas. She was one of the best 4 in Texas girls basketball. And so yeah,
Wow.
she plays for the VI
Pretty
national team.
impressive.
Yeah, Brittany Matthews, Kushan of course, you know. So yeah, we have some. We do have a lot of good athletes. We do have a lot of good VI coaches, and it's, like I said, as long as we could mold them from a young age, and identify their dreams and what they really want to do, and let them know it's a journey. It's not going to just come today and gone tomorrow. And yeah, they said Caden should be coming to the national team pretty soon as well too. Pretty soon,
Yeah.
to be our national team.
That's good, man.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go back real fast in track and field. When I was back when I was coaching track and stuff, one of my students, Alex and Steve and Pum Pum Snatch and all them boys were very good. They set the school records at when you talk about 4x1 relay as a junior high school team who could run 43 points. That's pretty fast as a 4x1 relay team at that level based on the training that they took, and also to run 317 in a 4x4. That means each guy was at least clocking about a 50-point quarter mile.
Wow.
Yes, that's how
impressive.
fast that man was going.
It's fast.
So then moving on to the bigger level, Sylvester Dickinson, when he came to New York with me for high school, he ran for a school called Kennedy High School, and it's really focused on physical education. And he ended up being the PSCL Public School Athletic League 200-meter champion. He went on to be the New York State 200-meter champion, the took place at St. John University, and he also became the Empire State champion in the 200 meters. Yeah, and that was a VI, that was VI
Wow.
bond.
Big.
So
We got a lot of great athletes, man. We
yeah.
just don't have. We just don't broadcast them enough. We don't hear their stories, especially if they go away. We don't have nobody
Yeah.
tracking them. And basketball is one of the biggest sports, so you hear more about that sport. Sometimes, every once in a while, we might have a track and fielder where they really follow their career, but we have a lot more that we need to follow, and keep up with them throughout the college and the beginning of their professionalism year time. Not wait until they're like a big name to
Yeah.
start, like really like investing time into them.
Mhm. If
By
if
then
you,
it's too
if
late.
you look at
They
yeah,
done did it without us.
if you
Yeah.
look at Nia Jack, she won the SEC, so I mean SEC conference out of Alabama. You know, she won the 100 and
Mm.
200 meters about 2 seasons ago. She was hot on the track.
Yeah.
You had Alison Williams, Alison, well, I think Alison from the VI too, who was one of the best junior runners. She was number one. She ran 11.2. That's world class. Um, Mona Bond's niece, I forgot her name. She was ranked in the sprints as well as a high schooler, and they had to run against a world class athletes here at the Garden. And what happens to sometimes when they race young athletes against a seasonal college athletes, the young may be fast, but what happens sometimes we are pushed so quickly in the developmental, so they might miss part of the developmental process, and they get
Mm.
hurt quick and early.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's what happened. But Mona's niece was very good too. I forgot her name. I can't think of her name right now. But Mona's online. She's online. She could type in her name and let us know again. But she was awesome. I saw her competed at the Madison Square Garden against the big guns, the big girls, the world class girls, and I was proud to see that happening. So,
It's always good to see a VA out abroad doing
mhm.
good for themselves. Representing the even though she representing Alabama.
There go her name
Or
right
where?
there.
Yeah, Renisha Pitts.
That's right. She took after her mama. Yeah, awesome. I mean, very developed as a high schooler, and just to see her compete at the world class level as a high schooler, one of the best high schools in America. I also want to big up to her as well. So
Yeah.
we do have some good athletes that we could bring it back. I was talking to Jerry Brown earlier today. Jerry Brown is a baseball player. You also know him. He was well known for the VI, very calm, and relaxed, and we was talking about how to change the spectrum of the field, how to make the field a little different to prevent flood out games and stuff like that. If you're talking about making it the tough infield turf versus the outfield grass, you know, and how that could be done. And now we know that part of Georgia State will be under construction somehow soon. Maybe that idea, that thought can be done to develop that field, and you can host more tournaments in the VI, you know, when we get back. So let's see what the new Senate is going to do. I know Javon James, that he's part of that whole youth movement and stuff. So again, being part of it, if that's your mission, you gotta make sure these places are there to develop the student athletes or the high school athletes or the club athletes to be developed. Jerry just opened up a new pitching pitching a pitch facility out there in Texas.
Oh, nice.
Last week, yeah, he just opened one last week. Owned by him and some other brothers, African American owned, and so that's part of developmental. So I like what Karen was talking about. Great minds put together. Zora need Jerry Brown to hook it. Yeah,
No, he hook it up. He wants you to
hook
be
it
the
up.
connector to get Jerry Brown on.
We spoke about that as well. She competed. There you go. There you go, Mona. Yes, right. She competed at the Sydney Olympics as a teenager.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
That is,
Yeah.
and that's a big exposure for young athletes.
Right.
I mean, if you get into them big exposure meets and stuff, then that's exactly what we're talking about. You know. Thank you, Mona, for that because
Yeah.
I did follow her and she was a phenomenal runner. You know, you had young girls from Singapore who went to Olympic, like Denise Smaller, at a young age, like 16-year-old of age, who went on to the Olympics and stuff. So it's about how do we continue to get our federation to help develop our student athlete in the process. But we gotta make sure that the students who are being trained by Tegan, you're gonna be trained under a good, strong mind of what they want to do when it comes to career in sports.
Sure. No, that's
Yeah.
good, man. This is that you have a wealth of knowledge and information that our kids and even adults need to hear so they could get their kids involved. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I want
sure.
to lighten the mood and just ask some lighter questions to finish up before we close out here tonight. One of the things that you said you had to adapt to dealing with to coaching different cultures. Have you ever like I know one of the things that I used to like at the end of the year, like our coach would invite us to his house and him and his wife would cook for us and things like that, and it bring us into his family. And do you ever do stuff like that with your players, your students, and like you cook them some stuffing, some Johnny cake and things like that there? Do you ever do that?
How you know I'm a cook, man? That's what I'm the biggest hobby. I'm a cook. And I love to cook. I'm a man of all trades. At the end of the season, I would definitely do a big old potluck. But the Coach Titus is gonna be the main chef for it, You just
Mhm.
and just go into the playoff, whatever. And it's the funny part. You always say, Coach Titus, the woman volleyball coach, she can't cook. Her food and taste. I like stop. Don't do that. But being that I love to cook, we have a little power at the end of the season. Yes,
Mhm.
my place ain't big enough for them to come. So, but a lot cooking is part of me now. I have a lot of dishes on Facebook. You will see it. But that's what we do. We will go to the car shows together. The car shows. We may go to different events in the city just to get out as a team, so he could
Mhm.
feel better for himself. And for the first time, like I told before, we go to a museum, we go to different places, and that's what that works out. And sometimes we do collaboration with other teams from different conferences that we like Mega Everest college team, and us is very good. It's a very good connection because we are international and Caribbean teams. Mega carry a higher percent of Caribbeans, and we carry a
Mhm.
higher percent of international. So, yo hablo español, hablo francés, speak English, and customer in any language when they're ready.
That's what's up.
So one of my players told me one day, he said, Coach, please don't curse no more. And I tell him? I said, I'll make a promise to you. Coach is gonna stop cursing if you do correctly. And when coach wanna curse, you're gonna have to deal with the players. So I promised him I'm not gonna curse no more, and I stopped cursing like about good 6 years at a time.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that's what's up, man.
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
But I'm not saying I don't do it now, But for that time, I had this. Because, yeah, Buzz. Thank you, Buzz. And Buzz told he was an interviewer. He told the people in the interview that when they asked about Coach Titus, he said, "Man, Coach Titus is the man with the most patience." He said he's the man with the most patience. He brought tears to my eyes. Yes, he brought tears to my eyes to hear him say that because they call him an angry black man. Yeah,
Well, you definitely need patience in coaching, and so that's a good trait to have to becoming a good coach.
yeah.
Um,
And if
I
I
could
don't give my niece a
I could
big up,
see that
she'll
you
get mad with
that
me.
you
My niece, she
go
played with
ahead, man. The floor is
yeah,
yours.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. My niece, I played with the youth girls softball team that went to the national the world championships out in Illinois, and she was coached by Lisa Thomas and Harley and Jana
John
Lee.
Ali?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
John
went out
Ali.
to the national in Illinois as softball player. And I can remember that the sports reporter said the center field for the Virginia team. She's a 98% ball player. She would never drop a ball in the outfield. You know, Aisha James, and she played with some good girls. Pauline. She played with a Rose. Carol. All those girls are good softball players too.
Yeah.
I want to big up this softball people as well. Chin Chin Bermudez. So when I do come home for the holidays or I come home for whatever, Lisa will call me up, Lisa Thomas. You see, you gotta get a show, Lisa. Type what you want me to show. You need to be there to share your father's legacy, Lisa. Um, they'll say, "Are you gonna be home for Christmas?" Because we wanted to come to the park and do some stuff. So I spread my tentacles many different places as well. And it's not about, like I said, financial. You know,
Right.
so if I charge every student that came to school for and every recruit, I'd definitely be a millionaire by now. That's what I tell the school. Because when you recruit 15 players for women and 15 players for men in one season, that 30 students come to the school. Give me $1,000 for each child. I mean, all right. But again, I just want to give them all the respect in the process. They are ambassador, and I'll go back to the question I asked before. When I ask a question, when you step in the court or the field, or the track, or the pool, are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for the virginities? Are you representing the VI? If you see me in my suit to the championship match, always I have my VI flag in my coat pocket. But yeah. So go on, VI. Yeah.
No problem, man. This was great, man. This was great information and a great story. Go ahead, Mumba.
Yeah, I got with it's kind of I got a wait. I keep hearing a crackling noise. This coaching did any your all your years coaching, did any player just kind of touch you, was just special to you?
You know, I think what makes a player special to me is the one who actually asks the questions for support in life. You know, like, coach, what do you think about this? I used to tell my player I've been great. If she love you, she will come to the Valentine game. He's like, coach, you can't have a game on Valentine's Day, coach. That's not legal. I like, if she love you, she gonna come to the volleyball game on February 14th.
That's facts.
If she don't,
That's true.
then she just, but there's a lot of especially in my heart. I know one of my student, Mark Mayo, I remember he had got a severe car accident, and mother had called me up and told me he got in an accident, and I went to the hospital, and he just been there, just comatose, and we go there every day. And the day he came out of his coma, the first thing he said was, "Coach." And his mother said, "Oh my God, he loved the coach more. He loved me. Can you call coach first?" And so he's special to my heart. Mark is very special of me. He's and anything I want from him, Little Stankovic, I could call a whole list of guys, Leroy White, Brian Williams. I could on a whole list of all of them who's special to me. And because, like I said, when you influence a person, they're gonna always keep in contact with you.
That's true.
And I think before my coach today, Kenny Anderson, I said, Kenny, the reason you are influential to me because we are still communicating in life. Because somebody's gonna go on their own, they'll disappear, they're not gonna call you, but again, there are some of them who will be special to your heart because they keep in contact, they show love, they show care. Coach, how you doing? Everything already, yeah, bye. So they need something, I need something, they need a spiritual talk, it's talking spiritually, guidance, And the amount of weddings I've went to, me and my assistant coach went to numerous weddings on the female side and the male
Nice.
side. Yeah.
That's what's up.
The baby
That's
showers. We have like new young ones gonna be volleyball player because their moms play with us, So I could call all my female players as well. My table ladies, Nicole, Jesse, all of them, Renee, they are special to me because Michelle, they are special. Whenever coach wants something, coach, we got you. Me to get asked twice, and to see them all, have their family now, and they have their family. They have the kids, and they're doing their own business. All that stuff is good. And even them student athletes that I had for volleyball and track from St. Croix and stuff like that, they call me and they talk to me all the time too. And I'd be like, "What? You're 50 years of age? I can't believe you're 50-year-old now." But from Snatcher, they called me too. Steve Jack, Alex Gomes, Sylvester Dickinson, Karen, Delia. I mean, I go to the list of them from the Virginia who still call upon me to just talk. See what DCAM said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he coaching your rival school.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then he's coaching my rival school, but I got tricks for him all the time.
There's still some stuff that you didn't teach him, right?
Huh?
You still some
You
stuff.
gotta
Yeah.
keep something, a little weapon someplace,
Yeah, you gotta keep something in your back pocket always.
You gotta keep a weapon someplace, something to go to, So as well, so that's the whole thing, But as like you said, that's special for me when the Ryan Rollins and the Davids and stuff who come to school could constantly keep in touch with me when they make a decision. We just talk about it. And I always talk about, like I tell you, I really talk about it here and now, and welcome be for the future. Okay, because
Right.
for every journey, there is an obstacle. So you gotta know how to get around. And so the stress level, your brains can actually not make you think focusedly. So before you make a decision, you gotta really think about. Let me think with a calm head. I can't write a letter to my boss when I'm pissed off because I say everything under the sun.
Right.
That's true.
In Arabic, I'll be writing Latin, I'll be writing Spanish, English, or French at the same time. She said, "What the hell is this?" But that's the special part.
Um, when you were sharing your story, I don't know if you noticed that you did this, but when you were saying the story where your mother tell you when she bagged you from going on a trip, your Anguilla accent came out.
Yeah, because she's from Angola.
You were pronouncing words that you sound like my aunt and my uncle Lemasol. And I said, I wonder if he noticed he Angolan accent just come out when you were telling us the part of the story where your mother was involved.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah,
talk to me about your Angolan heritage. Like where that come from?
The Angolan heritage. My grandfather, he actually came from Venezuela,
Mm-hmm.
and he met my grandmother in Angola. They said that they come from out of the DR area.
Mm-hmm.
But in Angola, we go there every summer. Every summer we go to Angola, one of the best vacation. And in Angola, they had no lights. No lights in it. No light, but straight up zombie jokes. So sun up to sundown, you gotta be in the hall before the zombie come and get you. So making sure that process. And I can always remember my grandfather. He just. I have an uncle. Angolan uncles just like to beat people. Just want to beat you. They want to beat you, or they want to trail out at the front. You got close to that drowning and stuff, So Angola is fun. I love Angola. I haven't been there since 1985.
Wow.
Long time.
But
Long time.
I still have cousins. And you never, I have to do a background check on the Hodges, because some of the Hodges are also the family,
Stony Ground area. That's where my people are from.
Stony Ground or Sandy Ground?
One of them. Sandy Ground.
Something ground.
Sandy Ground. Yeah, by the water, by the pond.
Yeah. So, like my father, he there still. My aunt, my father was living up here for a while, but then he finally moved back home, and so he there. My uncles, my aunt, still home. Well, my only aunt, because she was the only girl in the family. But I try. I want.
They all Hodges or get different last names?
Al Hodges.
Al Hodges.
No, Al Hodges. I might have more, but I don't know. Like I said, I would tell him my brother would be more of the person to speak to on my Angola side because he used to live over there.
Okay.
But
yeah. You get the Lakes from Angola, the Gums, the Lakes, the Richardsons, the Edwards, the Hughes. I know. So that like the Carties, they're all Anguilla born people. You know.
Angola have the nicest people, man. The nicest people. Like Angola people don't wait for you to like talk to them, for them to talk to you. And because the island's so small, they know when you're in from here. And
Yeah.
they'll come and show the hospitality and generosity. And man, I love Angola, brother.
They
Love
be
it.
like, bye. They be like, bye. Where you come from, bye? Where you doing there? But I know
Yeah,
your
man.
mother, your mother is the one from so and so, no. Your cousin them is so and so. Yeah, man.
And anytime I touch some Angola, my son, like it could be somebody walking in a store, I go and buy something. They'll be like, "You to buy for Prince?" That's my father name.
So far, okay.
Never meet this person a day in my life, my son. But
Wow.
Yeah.
even though you're in from there, your story to travel. Like if you like, I
Yeah.
remember in 1995, I went Angola when I was young, and I played in a basketball league. That's 1995, or 93, one of them. That's the last time I been Angola. I went Angola in 2015, and I riding over on the boat. I sitting next to a partner, and we just start talking or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And partner, in the course of us talking, he remember, like he recognized who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy jump up from sitting down, listen, and he started to tell a story from things I was doing in that league in 1993. Like,
Wow.
like the man gets so excited, Mumba.
Yeah.
The man remember like my whole time in Angola. I spent like about 2 weeks. The man remember like almost everything I do in that span of 2 weeks and that quote them. So and I was like, wow. He bring back a
Say,
lot of
say,
memories.
say, say one thing you say in Anguillan language now.
No, I can't do it. I
Oh, you
can't do it.
can't do that.
I could say something my cousin said that to this day. I
Uh,
remember he came over from Angola to visit when we were young. And I guess he dropped down in my mother couch, and it had a hanger on the chair. And he said, Auntie Connie, I got the hanger stuck up my ass. Hey, anytime I see he, I have to say that, Mister. I have
That's
to say
that,
funny.
it.
That's funny to say.
that's the beauty of being Caribbean, Virgin Islands, because we come from a big melting pot, and
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. I will tell people the beauty of coming out of multi different background. My father is
Mhm.
French. My father's our French. That whole line of Frenchies. Okay,
Mm.
not that they ain't going British, they ain't going Chinese, they going straight up French. Saint
French.
Martin, Guadeloupe, France, Martinique.
Martinique, yeah.
Parlez-vous français? Oui, parlez pas. That's it. You know, I remember when I went to my father's funeral, we got to the airport, the custom, the immigration office, and he asked me in French, where you going? I mean, I remember that part. And I said, grand-mère, grand-père, because I started from on TV. He said, bonjour, grand-mère, bonjour, grand-père. I remember that line from TV. I said, my grand-père, grand-mère. Then he asked me another question, like, what the hell? They asked me, no, I don't know, no French, but grandmother, grandfather. So I pointed at my uncle and I was laughing, like, hey. He said, you can't speak French now? What happened? I said, my father didn't teach me French. My mother teaches Spanish because my father only speaks French with when my grandmother came to St. Croix. You
Hmm.
know,
Wow.
yeah. And he was a master of everything. He was a master of, he built a lot of homes in St. Croix. He built a lot of boats. And he didn't believe in the sports until my sister started playing softball. Okay, that was his, he grew up okay, but he didn't believe in sports. He believed in Wahooing. Believe in building a house between 7 and 3. He's the hardest working man. And after that day, he's full of joy, you know. But I was a baseball, sports, American apple pie guy.
Did your mother play netball? Cause netball
she,
big in Angola.
my mom played netball. She played netball. She played tennis. She played rounders. You know,
Okay.
Rounders, yeah.
rounders.
Yeah.
Yeah, captain out, all out. It takes the captain to be out in that game.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if a player get out, the captain could come and bat and try to hit a home run. So she played that as well. So that's why we got all the skills from playing ball with her too. So that's where it
Nice,
come.
nice.
My sister didn't play softball, basketball. very competitive. I mean, they had to play competitive because they're playing against the boys in the neighborhood. So you pick a team,
Yeah.
picking boys and girls and all mix up, a little elbow here and there and stuff like that. So when you come to play sports in America, you touch a player is a foul. Like what a foul? I ain't push you. So so that makes us tough. But again, the multicultural of we come from, our background we come from, is what makes us who we are in the sports of athletics as well. Yeah.
Man, that's good, man. Well, we come to Tegan, our counterpart.
Yeah.
His favorite part of the show. So
Yeah.
you are a multi-sports person, so we got to do three sections for you. Want you to give us your 5 favorite volleyball players from the Virgin Islanders, and these are your favorites, so it don't have to be in any particular order. Volleyball players, softball players, and track and fielders. Your favorite from the Virgin Islander, old or young?
All young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean, okay. Softball, baseball combination. Okay. For baseball, I would say my favorite was Tasco Martin, Dino Simmons, Gala Williams, Guito Morales. He hit a ball in my mouth. Guito Morales. Yeah, Guito Morales. For Henderson as pitchers, those are my top. I used to love to see these men play by softball or baseball as well.
Okay.
On the female side, you got get the females too.
Right.
This
Yeah.
softball, I'm going to go back to Marlene Henderson, Virgie Santos, Bodell Simmons. These are women who played very the game strong. Coming down some more, Sherry McIntosh. I would love to see her play. And I got my great tall base Hall of Fame, Angie Williams. I used to love them to see them girls play, but I didn't say pick my sister. My sister was damn good. I'm gonna leave them aside because I don't want bias. They actually was pretty good players, that made the national team and stuff. But I just like to, give people the props as well. When it came to of course, I got to put my boy Jerry Brown in there as a baseball player. Okay. I didn't talk about Elliot Maynard and Cummings. They were good ball players too.
Yeah.
When it comes to track and field, I love you believe in that. I was adored with how Ronald Russell. He was a senator.
What's his? Say the name again.
Ronald Russell.
Ronald Russell.
Ronald Russell.
Okay. Powell. He was a coach at. He used to work at the school down there by Friesenberg. I forget his
Andrews. No, is that Kirby Lawson or
no? Friesenberg.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's the name of that school?
Is it something Andrews?
Alfredo Andrews.
Alfredo Andrews.
Yeah. Alfredo Andrews. Okay.
Yeah.
Andrews, yeah.
I never had from St. Thomas. He was outstanding track and field. He put us on the map in track and field. He beat the biggest Nehemiah and all them big boys back in the day with the golf and stuff. And track and field. So I have Powell, Russell. There was a guy had named to call him Mongoose. I can't remember his real name, but he was really a runner. I love him. Someone said John Woodson in school, not Alfred Andrews. Woodson is.
Oh, you talking about Woodson?
Woodson, yes.
Okay.
And he had a young lady. Her name was Lorraine Hassel. I love her in track and field. Very awesome runner, man. She was very good too. So Michelle Branch in track and field. Margie Parson in track and field. Who else was in track and field? Good runners. Go back to my friend Angie Williams, who was a pretty good track and field runner too. And of course, I can't forget the one and only Jean Phipps. Jean Phipps, that's the daughter of Mona's niece. Yes, that's why she got track career from. What else sports we had here? I know my boys are saying, Coach, how can you call my name? No, that's okay. I can talk about legend runners that paved the way for that.
Volleyball will be the next one.
I give them props all night long. They had no props. So I gave track and field, softball, and volleyball. We can't forget Megan Hodge, who played for the University of Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
Now she was more valuable player at the World Championships as well. And that's a team that went on to have the most African American girls to play in the women's USA women's volleyball team. Virgin Islands, the name Vantala, another name Evelyn Rogers, we call her Peaches, another sports Sherry McIntosh again, another volleyball player. Karen Canigata, I love them all. All the volleyball players, and then of course, we got Mel.
I don't know.
You breaking up?
I don't know if you plug back in your charger, but it breaking up real bad. You might gotta do your list over again.
Nothing happening. I get the battery going. No, I mean, so that's about it. But I do have 5 basketball players, I got 5 basketball players.
Let me hear them.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
Not really.
Not really. It's yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can hear you now.
Okay. I got 5 basketball players,
Yeah.
Just in case for y'all basketball player fans out there. I had 5, and I'm gonna go back to Spud Webb. He was one of my favorites. You know why? He was a shorty.
Yeah.
He brought the game of short people to the sports of the NBA basketball, and you gotta respect him for that. That's what he did. Dr. J for the well-rounded skills, inside, outside game. Eyes could give out the ball, could be selfish if you want to, but not really. That's of course, and of course, Scottie Pippen, known how to be a co-player. It was all Michael Jordan, but without Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan was it now. He needed a sidekick, and Scottie proved that he was that good when Jordan left. Scottie was able to still carry the balls as well in the lead.
Right.
You want rough? You're talking about roughness and intensity. You're talking about Dennis Rodman. That's
nice.
He was just totally rough, rugged, hardcore. I mean, he give you what you want. You want me to box you out? I'll box you out correctly. You want me to get a rebound? I'm getting for you. The man with 5 rings.
Sure.
Come on. Dennis Rodman got 5 rings. So, and of course, Timmy Duncan in the modern basketball era, who brought straight up fundamental skill basketball. No ball going between his legs and around his back and stuff. He's gonna do the basic for your bam, 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 pass out, inside grab, layup. And that's my 5 picks that I look at. Those 5 kind of, that's my all-star.
That's a good list, man.
Nice. That's a good. Yeah, that is a good list.
Because you are breaking up so bad, we didn't hear your volleyball list.
Oh, the volleyball list?
Yeah.
I said Megan Hodge for St. Thomas for the women volleyball. Megan Hodge. We had Vantla from St. Croix. We had Joyce Batiste. We had Sherry McIntosh. I have Karen Canigata. Those are like my 5 big pick. And Evelyn Rogers. They are my 5 big picks. Yeah, we call her Peaches in her days. So she came out of St. Joseph High School. But they were very good players as well. And the new modern volleyball player, talk about Mel. Mel is a damn good volleyball player. She coaches the team right now, firefighter Mel. Sam, Sam Simmons. So you get on your program, she's pretty good too. I really adore her. She tells me about some of from students as well. So, and of course, she comes from a good playing softball and volleyball. So again, the multi-sport athletes.
I got to one of the names that you mentioned earlier. You mentioned Pauline. That used to be my girlfriend in 10th grade.
Which one?
Pauline Humphreys. You mentioned her when you mentioned Rose. She introduced me to the softball world side of things because I used to go and watch down west and watch her play. And just some of the names that you call in Mel, Rose, Rose's sister,
Carol.
Oh my God.
Caroline. Rose's sister.
No, Rose's sister was what Rose's sister name be Mumba?
I can't remember her name, to be honest. I do. That's why I think it right now. Trying to remember her name.
Okay,
I cannot remember her name.
All the girls were bad. Stabel.
It was nice. They could have played.
Stabel.
Yeah.
So then you got to know my niece. My niece Aisha.
Aisha used to learn with Stabel.
Exactly, that's right.
Yeah, I know your niece,
Awesome,
man.
awesome ball player too. Um, Rose sister name, I could see her face, but Lily,
Something with
Lily,
a L.
Lily,
Lily, yeah,
Lily,
something with a
yep.
L. I knew it was something
That's
with a
crazy.
L.
Yep, Lily Williams, yep.
Lily. Yes, good ball player. They're all good.
Yeah,
They're all
Zoro,
good.
yeah, Zoro, Lily, yep. Volleyball, yep, Lily.
Yeah, good players. I was upset when they went to the national,
Dwayne,
when they went to the
yeah.
world champ, when they went to the world play up in Illinois. I was there. I went to see them play. I was
Mhm.
truly upset, and that goes back again. When you're taking an all-star team away at a certain age, you have to have some discipline, rules, and regulations because you sacrifice they sacrifice that team by benching those same girls, Lily, Rose, Pauline, and they were the top players. They benched them for a world-class championship tournament. That means that you didn't have your discipline orders in place before you left home.
Mm.
So young girls were just having fun at the time, and you going back then because you're having fun and how we tease each other and jeer each other up and stuff like that. Come on. And yes, we did with them girls, and they just sat on the bench and just sat there for most of the tournament, and it was so unfair. I just felt that the referee and then the coaches may be mad with me, but again, you have to have a discipline plan in place before you leave the island. And I would not sacrifice my players because of what happened. I would deal with them after the fact.
Right.
That's true. I agree with that.
After the
Yeah.
fact.
So who's a guest you would like to see us, celebrate and honor on the platform?
I would like to celebrate Jerry Brown, very much so. Yes, that's what my cousin and I was talking about. Ozzy McBean.
Okay.
He could talk about his basketball career. Ozzy McBean was a terror back in the days too, as a ball player and a basketball player. You know,
Was he live here in Jacksonville?
right? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. He watches your show too.
Yeah,
Well, we definitely
definitely.
like to have him on. We definitely
You
love to have
know,
him on.
you know who he talking about, right, Mamba?
No, Uzi McBean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You remember Ozzy, the ref in my league with the locks?
Yeah.
That's who he talking about. That's
Oh,
Ozzy.
him?
Yeah. And
he got his too.
he had some
He
skills.
got his.
He was a good point guard in Central.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Definitely got to get you on, man. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's who you talk about.
Yeah. That's Nova Uncle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Great,
You gotta set that up. You
great.
definitely gotta set that up.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. Yes. And we talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah.
when you
So
talk to Jerry.
I want to shout out to all the people who taking part in this, who keeping the program going, the program,
You kind of breaking up again.
all the stuff. And you know who's a good person to get in the show too? If you could get he's the head coach at the big school up in New York. He's the head coach of Cornell. He's the head coach of Cornell track and field program. He's from Adrian. I forget Adrian's last name, but his name's Adrian. I can't think of his last name right now, but he's the head coach of Cornell, and he's been doing some good work at Cornell University. So if you go online, you look at Cornell University head track and field coach, you're gonna find his name.
Oh, okay.
Adrian. Yeah. He's going to be on your show to talk about our arena about track and field and the world about track and see more. So, yeah. Bye. I don't know what else to tell you. Bye, but it's been a wonderful show. Bye. I like to talk a few old man. Come to Tatola.
No, man, it was great. It was great, man. It was great.
Thanks, man.
No, I was gonna utter the same words you just did. It was real good. We really appreciate you sitting down with us and sharing your story. Like you mentioned early, the kids would always like to hear successful stories from their own, you know, and they will respect it more. And so this is what the platform is all about, you know, to hear the story of our own. And everybody have their journey. They walk their own path, but all the message is delivered for the same reason, to uplift the kids for today, you know. And you have a special story, and you was definitely the right person to tell it. And we really appreciate you sitting down with us and sharing today.
We're looking for one of my nieces to be at Olympia pretty soon. She's out of Georgia, and she's into track and field too. And she ran at the Youth Olympics last year summer. Nyla Brown. Look out for her the next couple 4 to 5 years.
What's her name?
Nyla Brown.
Nyla Brown.
Nyla Brown.
Naya. I'm sorry, Naya.
Naya Brown.
Yes. Naya Brown. She's a junior high school girl that she clock in right now. She left a season last year with a 60-point track and field time, and just brand new to track and field. But she's gonna make her way there. She anchored out of Georgia last year for the 13 to 14 when she was 12 years old. She anchored a relay team for them.
Wow. That's impressive.
The coach at Cornell, is his name Adrian Durant?
Durant, that's him right there. Adrian Durant,
Okay.
yes. Yeah. Check him out. Reach out to him. Reach out to Jerry Brown so you can tell us some more about what his plans are and things they're doing, and his ideas about what could help the program for baseball when it comes to the field development. Because we were talking about how the field could be developed in a different way and designed a different way that could prevent flooding and stuff, like having an infield turf. And also
That's what Puerto Rico have. A couple of Puerto Rico fields they have turfs.
Inside infield turf and grass on the outside. Yeah.
Both Betorn and the Roberto Clemente Stadium, they're turf. The turf field.
I met him, Roberto Clemente. I met him in person. He was good too. I met the whole Pittsburgh Pirates back in my days. So.
Oh wow, that's nice, man.
Yeah, because Joe Christopher played with them, and Elmer Passett, I played with Pittsburgh Pirates, and they were homegrown individual. And of course, Al McBean out of St. Thomas was a professional basketball player too. You know, so we had a lot. How in any sports, you know, we're gonna shine.
Right.
How do we get in contact with Jerry Brown?
Easy. I would reach out to him and have him contact you, member. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. He tell his journey to this baseball career when the scouts came to look for him.
Yeah,
that was funny. He had to tell a story when the scouts came to look for him, and in his face, and they're like, "No, I don't know who he is." Yeah. But
I want to shout out the viewers. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely appreciate the viewers tuning in, asking the questions. Being involved. So I appreciate you guys and the support. For Andre. So much love to all the viewers. Appreciate you guys as always. We have our Rudolph Simmons. Sunday. We have Rudolph Simmons.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Looking forward. Great job. I want to again thank you guys for giving me this platform to speak to y'all, and keep up the good work, because the more the viewers can hear y'all, is the more that the young ones at Showback get a chance to see y'all do what y'all do. A lot of us are not going to be a professional athlete, but we're going to be a professional person to teach one how to move on in life. Right. And that's the three of us. The pros, they go by their business, but the ones that, like you guys right here, is the one who's reaching the people and touching the people's heart and soul. And I tell Tegan the same thing too. He got a big project ahead of him.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Tegan is the catalyst, he definitely got his feet on the ground doing his thing, and we proud of him on this platform.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
He could take rabbit food and make it into a dog food.
And we also enjoy your philosophy and your some of your sayings and some of your beliefs, definitely some strong ones, and I especially like what you say. You don't like suicides. You like to teach the skills. I think that's. I remember I had a coach. He used to always tell me, like, why you to always come on the court and practice these little hook shot and stuff that you're gonna never do in the game. If you come and practice the stuff that even when you think nobody's looking, there's always somebody looking. You come and practice the stuff that you will do in the game. You will never you're gonna succeed. You know.
Yeah.
So I always try to teach my son that stop shooting. First thing my son to do, he'll go behind the 3-point line and start shooting. Nah. You go underneath that rim and you walk on your left hand, putting back, you get a rebound. You're supposed to know how to put it back up. That's what you walk on. That 3-point, that's the death of these kids nowadays, Mr. Because that's all they want to do is shoot three.
Cause that's all they see.
Right.
You see them boys from across the water. Them boys from overseas.
Right.
They want to get elbow.
They want to get no blows. They want to go down there and bang.
Yeah. That's what my niece Aisha said. She said she was playing in the police league where she working in Atlanta. She said, "No man, I can't take an elbow up, so I just go outside and shoot against them big man."
Matter of fact, your niece. I met her in a Caribbean restaurant about 2 years ago when I was in Atlanta for Carnival, and we then in line, and I tell him my partner. So I know this girl, man. He said, "Mister, you always know somebody. You always know somebody when we go somewhere, Mister." And I said, "Nah, I know this girl. I bet she from home." And he told me, "I bet that girl ain't home from home." So I walk up to her and I asked her, and she said, "Yeah." And then we just started chatting from there. Yeah. But I remember she good, man. But he was a nobody, so he don't remember people. I always tease him.
Yeah. Right,
but all right, man. We enjoyed this, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Angie. Appreciate it. Yeah, man.
You enjoy the rest of your night, your evening. Good luck if I have a season. Good luck this season, and the sports that you're coaching, and just keep giving us your comments and your questions, and you always come with some good ones. So we love the support.
Well, the only practice they got right now is doing the NCAA playbooks. That's the practice they have, and stay physically fit, and staying on point with the academics. My team is a team that doesn't have to go to study hall for a couple of years.
That's good.
Only incoming freshmen, transfer students have to go to study hall, but after that, because they're maintaining good averages, they don't got to go to study hall.
That's good,
nice.
You miss study hall today, you can't play tomorrow. For real.
You gonna back?
I don't believe in the best player.
That'll be the best team when they ain't got no superstars. We are superstars.
Yeah. Like you all are on your platform. Keep up the good work. Great name.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Are extremely elite. I'm number 44, and number 44 is a winner.
It's facts.
Barack Obama.
Do well. All right.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Much love.
Good night for everyone.